Good evening and welcome to the Steel Toe Evening Show. I'm Aaron Imholt. That's April.
Hi.
And you know what? Decent show tonight.
I'm excited.
Decent show. I think I've got a decent one ready. And you know what? Tomorrow morning, I think that's going to be decent too. I have an honest question.
Okay.
For this audience. I have a very serious question for this audience. What's the deal? What is the deal with Tuesday?
Oh.
Because I don't know, like Johnny mentioned it this morning, maybe we need to space, like we need to go me, or we need to go Johnny, you, because some people I feel, and again, I get it. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, you know, April's very attractive and April's got a different personality and they want to watch April. And then some people, you know, whatever. I don't know. But I do notice that there gets to be a little bit of fatigue by Tuesday, although I think we're doing good shows and everything else. But it just seems to be the interest wanes.
Okay.
By the end of Tuesday. So Johnny mentioned today that, hey, maybe we space it out a little bit. I don't know. We'll fine tune. I don't like setting anything in stone with this show. I like having the ability to adjust and adapt and keep things moving and change things up. And we've never like stuck to a one format for too long.
You're not concrete
on this program. Yeah, exactly.
Except your time is pretty consistent.
Except for Monday morning, right?
Right.
With the
one time you sleep in.
With the exception of this Monday, it's been perfect. And then tonight's stream, I accidentally scheduled it for 5:58 p.m. So people showed up in the chat. They're like, what the fuck? Is he late again? What is he? I don't understand that because you know what time the show starts.
Man.
So you can always assume that if it says 5:58, oh, Aaron fucked up. That was a typo.
Could they assume on Monday?
People are such slaves to anything they hear on the internet that they read it on the internet and they go, well, that's got to be it.
Sure.
It can't be that somebody fucked up. So I'm watching people who watch the show every night comment on the chat, oh, is Aaron okay? What happened? Is he late? Does he... No, and then someone goes, oh, is he trolling people with the late thing by putting a fake time in there? Again, don't assume I've got a plan. I thought 6:58 and I hit 5:58. I know that's not a sexy answer. I know that's not a fucking with you answer. I know that's not a, trolling the... I don't really troll the audience. I've always said, if you've got broadcasting talent, you got stuff to talk about. You don't need to troll your audience. That's kind of hacky and gay. But I wouldn't troll you with a 5:58 start time. Just assume if that ever happens, oh, Aaron's a dipshit and he fucked up.
Nah, you're just doing it without trying. I don't know. At 5:58, I think I was mowing lawn and you were playing PGA, winning a tour, right?
I was busy playing PGA golf, and I won. I qualified for the PGA Tour. Very excited about this.
Huh?
I qualified for the PGA Tour. I skated through the minor leagues, so now I've turned everything on the hardest difficulty. Okay. Because I'm like, all right, it's getting a little too, so let's move everything over to the hardest difficulty. And let's see if that makes a difference.
I have to apologize for something.
Good.
I ran myself right out of time tonight. I have, as you can see...
Is that wet hair?
It is indeed wet hair.
You didn't do like the styling thing where women make it look like they have wet hair?
No, you can touch it. It's wet. You know me. This is out of the shower. I figured that it was more important to put some mascara on real quick. I had to shower after the lawn because it was like baling hay. It was terrible.
What's that white trash look that women do where they try to make it look like they have wet hair?
Oh.
What is that?
Oh, no. Even like 2011 and 12, the whole thing was to use this mousse. It's like mousse, you put in your hand after a shower.
That must be a very small mousse. I would think that it would be
the tiniest mousse.
So heavy to have a mousse.
It was a very...
like that.
A very foamy mousse.
That would be really strange because I would think that a woman, you wouldn't think physically, would be able to put a mousse in her hands. The physics of this are mind-boggling. We fucking get it, Aaron. Jesus Christ. Okay, continue. The mousse.
The mousse, you put it in your hand. You got the foam mousse in your hand, and then you start scrunching. You just scrunch. So you get this little like wave look going on.
And is that from the antlers? We fucking got it!
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
It looks like the moss hanging from the antlers, right? Your hair does now.
Because it's a moose.
Get it?
Moose and moose. It's a pun. So, yeah, that was, I remember looking at that and I'm going, oh, that girl's going to be pregnant very soon and it's not going to be planned.
Oh, no. It was like every girl in my school did that.
Oh, those
every
were some
single
trashy
one.
bitches.
Because when it dries, like the mousse is dry, but it looks wet because it's crusty.
I always thought that. I'm like, why do you want to leave the house looking like a wet squirrel? Like, I don't understand why that was a thing.
I tried it. My hair wasn't quite curly enough back then, but it keeps getting more curly the older I get, so it's working out.
Well, she came down here with wet hair because she just plumb ran out of time.
It was 5:57, and I'm like, God damn it. I'm not going to half dry my hair.
No, it was 6:57. If it was 5:57, they would have been yelling at me
You're
in
right.
the chat.
I'm sorry. I'm all turned around.
Fauci's Pangolin says a little of this, a little of that. What is the deal? Rincewind says, I love Johnny, but sometimes it's the topics you keep for the shows with him on it. It ain't your chemistry. I didn't say it was the chemistry. I feel like maybe the audience wants it shaken up a little bit.
I've mentioned that before. I don't think Tuesdays are bad.
I think they're great.
I like them, actually.
D. Gulag says, April looks too smoking tonight. It's distracting with all due respect. Well, good. Don't listen to my moose jokes then.
I'm clean. You all know I'm clean now.
Kip Smith says, once it air dries, April's hair will look like a gypsy witch.
There's your chance.
Patrick says, remember, guys, Aaron doesn't have a real life. Hey, wait a minute. I don't think that's the case.
This morning, did you tell them your great news about your appearance that happened last night?
I had an appearance?
You have an albatross on your face. Did you address it this morning?
Oh, no, I didn't talk about what happened with my
This is a big deal.
My giant creature on the side of my face finally popped, and I almost made April vomit.
It was like a plug. It was like somebody had like a white plug in your face.
And just...
Like, you know those old-timey like white drain plugs with the little chain cord on it? It was like somebody squoze out one of those little drain plugs from your face.
Worked out great.
It looks better now it's flat.
Oh, it feels better. I tell you, it's like I've got a load off my face.
I bet.
Mr. Monkeypox says, why does Ape look like she just got done working a double serving drinks at a titty bar? I mean, that's kind of the look that you've got going on right now.
Well, I'm sorry.
Is the relaxing after my double shift at the titty bar bartending.
I didn't want to get yelled at, so I wasn't late.
Lemmy says it's called scrunching.
Look,
That's the
good
style.
At it.
Scrunching.
I'm sorry.
You never were a scruncher?
No, like I said, I tried. My hair never kept that wave because it was too straight. My hair naturally was straight.
Gary Crouch says, Aaron, if the apocalypse ever comes, you know April will be what keeps you alive. Fuck that. First of all, if the apocalypse comes, none of us are going to live. I love how everyone's like, oh, man, if the apocalypse comes, dude, you're gone in the first, hour and a half. All right? All of us think we're going to have this story of survival. We're all going to be Rick Grimes. We're all going to be gone in relatively short order.
What if we have a baseball bat with barbed wire?
Then we'll go out like Mick Foley. But that's about it. It's not, well, the zombies are coming from over there, and I'm going to take every one of them. And then you're too loud, and they come in, they all swarm, and they eat your face. And
see, now I think if you just talk like that, you could scare them off.
You might talk like a zombie. I don't know. April is mowing the yard while Aaron qualifies for the PGA Tour. I know, I'm putting in work. I'm an athlete, and she's out doing menial labor.
You want to know something? I can't do what he did.
Yeah. Mr. Cool says, why would you put chocolate mousse in your hair? Oh. Well, I don't care if the mousse is chocolate. I don't care if he's a brown mousse, if he's an albino mousse. Just the sheer physics of putting a mousse in your hand and then somehow getting that mousse to stay calm while you put it in your hair. Get it? Because it's not the kind of mousse we're talking about.
Sometimes I went with dark chocolate mousse just because I wanted to be darker.
Stevie J says, wet look is a barrio. I tried to say barrio like a Latino, and I fucked it up. Like a Latinx, am I right? Barrio Latina thing, too, not just for the white trash ladies. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of crossover.
I feel like there was crossover, and there was a big Latino presence in my hometown, so it made sense.
Why is there a big Latino presence in your small rural hometown?
I actually never knew.
I mean, I could tell you if you'd like.
Do you think they just got planted there? It was a tiny town. Help me out. Tell me your theories.
The farm jobs.
Oh, there should be nothing else needed to show you guys I'm not actually racist because that went right over my head.
The farm jobs.
The farm jobs. You know
that would be it.
That makes sense. I got it now.
Mr. Cool says, yeah, I'm going to have to rub one out. Feel free to keep that completely to yourself. That is totally fine for you to just
to
go
you
ahead.
Maybe.
You go. No, you go ahead and you go do that, and it's just you can come back and join us later. It's
scary.
It's fine. Andrew Rice Cray says Aaron with the Cindy Crawford mole. Yeah, just to pops it. That's all.
It does look weird and dark now, but it'll flat.
Yeah, it'll go away.
Oh yeah, that's really flat.
It'll go away.
Crusty.
Hobo Chili Recipe says, can we really talk about Aaron's University of Minnesota shirt? Let's steal the colors of USC and plaster the true destroyer of the forests. I'm sorry. I didn't mean, look, I didn't think this was a controversial shirt when I just threw it on today,
I like it.
But it's controversial.
On camera, I look good with you. The colors does. You know.
The colors does? The colors does, ladies and gentlemen.
My brain is so fried from the sun today.
I've said for 17 years in broadcasting, for once, I'd just like to work with a professional. And what do I get? The colors does.
Really? Because I recall you were just talking about switching up days so they can have the lady on more.
Well, no, not so you can have the lady on more, so we could spread it out, so we could spread everybody out and not have everybody just jam-packed into one section of the week.
You're right.
Little Emmy says, Rick Grimes was a fucking crybaby. The show got better when he left. Ooh, see, I thought The Walking Dead was after season 6 or something. I can't remember which one it was. It was starting to go down.
I want to mention something because I like it. The Rice Cray guy, Andrew Rice Cray, said that I'm rocking the Lilu look from The Fifth Element tonight.
Wow.
And I really dig that reference because I like that movie.
That's a heavy cut. Victor says, nobody will survive the apocalypse. We went into panic about toilet paper 3 years ago for no reason. See, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody says that, if the apocalypse came, I'll do this. Dude, don't bother. Do not bother. You're fucked. First of all, when you run out of food, you're done. Everyone thinks they're going to kill a pig and they're going to skin it and they're going to cook it. And even if you do manage to kill a pig somehow, and you clean it and you skin it and you cook, you're probably going to prepare it wrong, or it's going to get some kind of bug in there and you're going to cook it wrong and you're going to die.
There's a chance of that. And then there's I'd say that's 50% of the population. And the other 50% that will to live is so strong.
Well,
they covered that on Tax today. They were talking about that plane that crashed in the Andes Mountains and those people that were opposed to eating the people that died first. So they what Anthony had summed it up as is they would wrap a little bit of meat around little sticks and then pack snow around it and swallow without chewing so they didn't have to think about it. And then before long, they're just eating. That's what humans do.
Well, you said it's what percent?
I'm going to go 50-50.
50%. Here's what I've heard about surviving the apocalypse.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
And guys, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I've heard about surviving the apocalypse. It's 10% luck. 20% skill.
No!
20% concentrated power of will.
Oh, yeah.
10% pleasure, 20% pain. 50% pain? I can't remember what percent was pain. 100% reason to remember the name.
No, I got it. I think that was good.
Just letting you know.
We got the moose reference tonight. We got the remember the name.
Yeah, I mean, quote. If you do you want an encore? Do you want more? Cook and Raw with the Brooklyn Boys?
That makes sense here.
Hobo Chili Recipe. I'm tearing up. I'm so embarrassed. I've been listening to those two songs on Amazon for the last couple days. That and Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See.
Why?
I like you know what I like?
Everybody liked Encore. It's just that you hear it 40,000 times.
You know what I like? Well, then you miss it after a while. I like the Encore Numb mashup. And I've been listening to that one.
That's the one.
Well, no, the Encore itself is very, very good.
Yeah, but not as good as the Numb mashup.
Yes. Hobo Chili Recipe with $4.99 says, April, bravo, you've got that real Jodie Foster in The Accused look. Just make sure there's no pinball machines around. I'm glad you don't get that reference. Union Jack with $2 says, am I Jewish enough, Hollywood?
Honestly, that's one of the best drops.
It's a good goddamn drop, that's for sure. 190, by the way, is tonight. So if you guys are wondering, it's a lot lower than usual. Thank you to the rally we had at the end of the morning show today.
Thank you.
for that. If you'd like to contribute, Streamlabs, PayPal, Steel Toe Media Inc. on Venmo, Super Chats, memberships, and gifted memberships. Thank you guys very much for your generosity. When that number gets down to 0, we add 30 minutes to the end of the show. Did you enjoy Gino was promoting your coffee with a little deep throating today? Yes, Gino Bisconti on In Hot Water. We were at the gym, and I was listening to Gino. And he promoted our coffee, which was very, very nice. Steel Toe Coffee, crescentmountcoffee.myshopify.com, now available in whole bean. And he was promoting it today. And then at the end of his show, he brought out a pink dildo, and they all took turns sucking it off at the table.
Yes, between him, Stancil, and a porn star.
Yes.
And the porn star, at one point, they had knocked our bag of coffee off the desk, and she picked it up and was holding it.
That's
so I thought
sweet.
that was fun.
Yes, we got it promoted by a filthy whore and a porn star.
She's a lovely lady. How dare you?
Joke was Gino's the whore. You got to wait for the punch. It was a delayed punchline. I'm an artist, for God's sake. It was a moose. I hated Walking Dead after around season 2, says Rebel Uncanny. Wow, you tapped out early, my man.
I couldn't watch it.
All right, I'm skipping ahead. And I am going to read a couple more, and then we're going to get down to business tonight. Canius Arias. He raises a great point. Although Jack Schaff is calling you April Jovovich. I don't want to miss that one.
Oh, fun.
Canius Arias says, only those who are in the kingdom of God will survive the apocalypse, which translates as revelation, as in the revelation of Jesus Christ. The man raises a good point. Who can argue?
That is the only point.
Some are saying becomes a member for his 12th month. Happy year,
Thank you,
my friend. Rebel the Uncanny says, I used to do all my term papers, etc. on either Andy's Survivors or the Manson Bunch. Oh, so you weren't on any watch lists.
Not even one.
Smokeout Prod says, sometimes I revisit Cameron and the Diplomats on 45th and Broadway. Cameron, oh boy, I'll check out from time to time. I just listened back to Black Rob Like Whoa. That was really nice. One of my favorite P. Diddy and G-Dep songs is Let's Get It. That's a wonderful song. I go and revisit those.
I have to ask a question then.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, me as a female, I'm a fan of Oh Boy by Cameron.
Yeah.
But when I hear that a man likes that song, for some reason I feel like that makes them gay.
It's not
because it's
gay.
a very femmy sounding song.
You tell Cameron that his song is gay, and then he'll...
I just want to know if anyone agrees with me, because I think it's a good song, but I think it's very femmy.
They do not
and
agree.
that makes you a lady.
You all disagree with her.
All right.
Hulkamasha Baby, it was the breakdown was 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain. Here's what's bullshit about that breakdown.
It's Scott Steiner math.
That would be great to have him redo the song. Can we get the karaoke version of that song and just have Scott Steiner
Look what I did.
do the Fort Minor Remember the Name karaoke. And let's here we go. And we'll just do it Scott Steiner.
Oh.
Yeah! All right. You want to do the math on how to become a superstar in this business? There's only one way to do it, and that's to listen to Big Papa Pump, who's a mathematician at being a superstar in anything you do in life. Yeah, this is 10% luck and 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. Big Papa Pump is your hookup. Holler if you hear me. See? He can do that song.
You want to finish it?
No, he's not going to be able to keep up.
If you ever need that chainmail, it's right over there. Next to the humidifier.
Oh, shit. My chainmail's right down there. I could have done it that way. Oh, well.
No half-assing here.
Papa Dan says, I've been listening to Oh No by most of that. See, now that's one of my favorite songs of all time. That's a good one.
I prefer On Ah by some Chris Young.
That's very nice. Phage Lives, becoming a member for his 8th month, says, I'm such a lazy douchebag. Only 8 months subbed. Yep, it's all forgiven.
Thank you.
It's all forgiven. Aaron is getting really red, says Kane J. Yeah, look, once I get to my 40s, I'm probably going to be I'm going to stroke out or have a heart attack.
You scared me Yeah, you scared me earlier today, too. What were you doing? You were all pumped up for some reason, and you were, like, stroking out, and I'm like, you're going to have an actual stroke someday.
We'll see. I mean, there's only one way to find out. Just hit that accelerator and see what happens.
Your face gets so red that entire zit blends in.
It just all turns into one flush part of skin.
Yeah, it's flesh tones.
Mad Max Mardigan, April, everyone agrees with you about how gay Aaron is with 90% of the songs he likes. Everybody gets an opinion.
Like I said, good song. I don't think it's a guy song. But you can like it. That's okay. It's okay to be gay. It's gay month.
Now, Smokeout Prods is calling them Fart Minor. Do you get it? Fart Minor. Because they call themselves Fort Minor, but farts are derogatory because he means they smell bad. It's a fart joke.
Can you imagine if you had to mine farts out of somebody's butt? Like you're just a fart miner? Get it?
Would be. Well, that's kind of what doctors are when they have to de-impact somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to hear you talk about, what did you say?
Would that be de-impacting?
No, I don't think so.
They're impacted.
I know they're impacted,
Right.
but I don't think it's de-impacting.
Flush out their shit, whatever it's called. I'm not a
colonics, remember?
I'm not a doctor over here.
We gotta get some colonics after a night of drinking.
Matt Field says, whoa, April is looking extra hot tonight. Aaron better be dishing out the Big Papa Pump. That's right, to all my freaks out there. Patrick says, that was gold. Your impressions are goated. Maybe overtime we'll do an impression karaoke, if you'd like to.
Damn, that's been a minute.
It's been a while. Phil P. with $6 Canadian. That's $6 Canadian. Says, I enjoy your show in the morning and feel like a schnurrer watching you at night. Here's my appreciation. Oh, you're not a schnurrer. Contributing to this show is very generous. It's above and beyond.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you very much. The Smokeout Prod says, The Diplomats was very different. Watch the first 5 minutes of Kill a Season. Well, I will have to do that. I still jam to Raise Up by P.D. Pablo. I probably reference P.D. Pablo once a week in my daily life.
I'm a complete hack, and I still love Freak-a-Leak.
See, I don't like Freak-a-Leak
I fucking love Freak-a-Leak. I think every female is allowed to like Freak-a-Leak.
I like the first 10 seconds of Freak-a-Leak I like.
Oh, it does get repetitive. It's too long. It could have been like a 2.5 minute song.
You are not a P.D. Pablo mark until you can name all the towns in Raise Up that he mentions when he's going through all the different places.
And I can't. Yeah, so I'm not a mark.
Neither can I. I'm a PD. I consider myself a mark, but I fall short in the eyes of Pablo. Turtle says a fart miner and a fudge packer are the perfect match. They should do a collaboration.
No.
Don Lemon's AIDS with a great point. Don't besmirch fart mining. It is Pride Month.
God, I guess every time you put it in there, you're technically getting some farts back, right?
Rebel the Uncanny says, damn, I must be old. Here's what I've heard. I've heard for Rebel the Uncanny is that the white line's getting longer and the saddle's getting cold. And he's much too young to feel this damn old. All his cards are on the table with no ace left in the hole. Can I say, I need to get this off my chest. To me, that is one of the finest written country music songs of all time. I love that song.
I think it's a good one. Oh, yeah.
I love it. It's great. Little Lemmy says, I named my bearded dragon after P.D. Pablo.
That's actually really sick. I would love that.
That's kind of cool. That's a unique thing to name a pet.
I feel like you should have 2 chihuahuas and name them P.D. and Pablo.
P.D. and Pablo. I'm not against it. I mean, I'm against it in this house. We already have a dog, but
I'm not a Chihuahua guy. I just love ours.
Well, boys and girls, we got to get started. We actually have to talk about shit. Otherwise, we're going to sit here and just lean on you all day, which I'm sure is going to be fun for all of us. But I feel like I have to put in effort. I mean, my God, you can't be an e-beggar and not give people content. Am I right? 185 away from knocking it out. There's the Streamlabs, the PayPal, the Venmo. All of that information and the links are right there in the chat. Click away. It's also pinned to the top of the page. And super chats and memberships count as well. I've been sitting on this story for a long time, and I'm glad Lemmy's here because she can defend it or defend against it. A couple of other people in our chat can defend against it. But I've always had this theory, and I've hung on to this theory in my head for a long time. Okay. Now I got some science behind me. You know, if you got science behind you, you can start pushing your shit out there more. You know, if you don't Yes, pushing your shit out.
No, I got it.
I was impacted.
Fuck.
If you have a theory and you've got nothing to back it up and you bring it up to people, they'll be like, yeah, well, what about this? You just have to be honest with them and go, oh, no, you don't understand. I'm pulling this directly out of my asshole. It just sounds good in my head, so I thought I'd say it.
I feel like I picture you pulling those clown ribbons out of your butt.
Just right out of it, one idea after the other. But once you have some evidence that you can show people, like you can show your work a little bit, then you feel a little more confident throwing it at them. A new study shows that marijuana use is directly linked to mental health risks in young people. I love this because I've always thought this. I thought, people have always said, and look, full disclosure, I think marijuana should be legal. I've consumed it myself. Never that impressed with it. But with marijuana, there's always been this trope. There's always been this refrain people have. Oh, it doesn't hurt anybody.
Hey. Enough with that.
It hurts people. All right. It's not good for you. It is a drug. Yes, it has not agencies. It has qualities that can help you with certain symptoms.
Yes, it does.
So does cocaine.
Oh, for sure. I was about to say, I think marijuana both helps and harms, almost similar to a prescription drug, how you'll be prescribed a prescription drug for something to take away a symptom, but then it has a whole backlog of like 20 different side effects.
Right.
It could happen.
And now I also want to discredit the study a little bit and say this. Are these people mental health risks because they've been smoking weed for so long, or do a lot of mentally ill people self-medicate with marijuana and thus you can make that connection? Like, is the connection coming or going?
I'd go with your second option. I think there are people who already have mental issues and they use it much like alcohol and try to mask whatever things they're feeling.
Right. But like with alcohol, you drink the alcohol and it causes you to do some wild, stupid shit. What I'm saying with marijuana is the person who's doing it might already be mentally ill and fucked. They're trying to use the marijuana to self-medicate and it ain't working. They were still going to do something completely fucked up.
That's what I was trying to say.
Over the last decade of diagnosing countless young patients with new psychotic disorders, one striking result has stuck out for New York City psychiatrist Dr. Ryan Sultan. Of all the people I've diagnosed with a psychotic disorder, I can't think of a single one who wasn't also positive for cannabis. Sultan, an assistant professor of clinical psychiatry at Columbia Irving Medical Center, is one of many experts raising serious concerns about the increasing marijuana use by adolescents and young adults. You could make the argument that you should not be doing any drugs until you're 25 years old. However, for a lot of people, once you're 25, your drug doing days are kind of winding down.
Right. Think about how much more drugs you did back then versus now. It's pretty much non-existent now for most people, I think. And maybe I'm wrong.
And think about this. If your brain doesn't stop developing until you're 25, and people's prime pot smoking years are between, 16 and 25?
16 seems young, but you might be right.
16 and 25? I mean, we've seen an increase over the last 20, 30 years of the acceptability of young people smoking weed. We've also seen a wild explosion of people with blue hair and thinking they should chop their dick off and they're not really sure what gender they are. It would be and people with bipolar disorder and people on, ADHD. I'll say this. I think the Adderall and shit like that, I'll defend the pot people for a second here. I think Adderall is fucking kids up way worse than pot is.
I do too. My main argument for pot is it seems like the main side effects of it, like negative ones, it's a pretty short list as compared to other drugs. I think it's a pretty minimal risk drug to be using.
But that's kind of the trick, isn't it? Like the lie we tell ourselves is that, well, it's not as bad as heroin, Adderall, alcohol, this and that.
But that's the truth.
Therefore, then we go to, well, maybe the kid should be doing that. No, you're still frying your brain. You're still fucking yourself up. You're still giving yourself blue hair and septum piercings and shit like that. I think you could probably draw a straight line between if you didn't do this and if you did do that, and your brain being a little fucked up.
I think if you get into smoking weed at a young enough age, you develop a certain mindset of yourself and the world and how you are, and you're just a certain way. And I think that's not good. I think it would be better if you waited a little while, like later in life, to start smoking weed.
Hobo Chili Recipe says, I'm gathering Aaron had a Nancy Reagan action figure and he was real hip to just say no. No. I don't give a shit if people do drugs. I don't give a shit if people smoke weed until their fucking dick falls off. It doesn't matter to me, not my pig, not my farm. My big thing has always been being kind of disgusted with the hypocrisy of people being like, oh, weed isn't bad for you, man. Booze is bad for you. No. It's all bad for you. None of it's good for you. I've always hated that bullshit that it's good for you. It has medicinal properties. So do a lot of prescription drugs. They have a shitload of medicinal properties.
I think you could argue, though, the side effect list is way bigger with prescription drugs. Excuse me. Way bigger.
For some, but
you can't even get antidepressants without having suicidal thoughts. Think of that.
But marijuana is, I'm going to get high. The side effects are I could fuck my brain up long term. Antidepressants, as shitty as those are the side effects are this, and that, but I'm taking it to make sure I don't blow my fucking head off. So I mean,
but the thing is that doesn't prevent you from doing that.
What I'm saying, the risk reward is skewed with marijuana and these other drugs. Like take oxys. Oxys are wonderful painkillers.
Oh, the greatest.
Awesome. They're the best painkillers in the world. Marijuana cannot match OxyContin in terms of pain relief. It's not even close.
No, but OxyContin long term will really fuck your body up if you stay on it.
Same thing with marijuana. That's what I'm saying. Like everyone wants to play this game where they're like, oh, my drug isn't as bad as this drug. Ergo, my drug is okay. That's the thing I've always had a problem with is let's not lie. Let's not bullshit each other. They're all bad. How
is weed, though, fucking your body up? What does it do?
It fucks with your short-term memory. There's also, it can fuck with your cognitive skills. There's your short-term memory. See what I did there?
Right. To me, that sounds a lot like drinking.
Also motivation, energy levels.
Well, I've seen that before.
Like that. Yeah.
I very much, and I am not a drug guy. I do not have a history of smoking marijuana regularly at all. It's very occasional. Like, I've had good times on it, but I've also had bad times on it. I have watched people become very unmotivated in life in general from smoking it frequently. Other than that, I haven't really seen anything bad.
Look, man, here's my message before we move off of this topic, because it's a very sensitive topic. Do whatever you want. Do whatever drug you want. My attitude in life is very much like that of the bartender in Back to the Future Part 3. I ain't your pappy, so go ahead and do what you want. I just, we need more studies like this that go, hey, you can smoke yourself crazy as fuck. Like, it's possible. It's just like any other drug. You use it too much and you're going to fuck yourself up. Lemmy says we'd absolutely give you energy. Oh, weed can absolutely give you energy. You ever eat an edible that was made from sativa? No, but I've ate one that was made from chocolate and I freaked the fuck out and needed to go to bed.
That actually was not a good night for either of us.
It's a rough night, my friend. A rough night. I don't remember it like it was yesterday because I damaged my short-term memory, see?
See, I feel like that's really uncommon, though.
B. Smiley says, we didn't just appear 20 years ago. No, I threw the 20, 30 years ago in because I feel like it's become more socially acceptable in the last 20 or 30 years. But at any rate, young males might be particularly susceptible to the effects of cannabis on schizophrenia. At a population level, assuming causality, 1/5 of cases of schizophrenia among young males might be prevented by averting cannabis use disorder. Results highlight the importance of early detection and treatment of cannabis use disorder and policy decisions regarding cannabis use and access, particularly for 16 to 25-year-olds. Oh, shit, we came up with the same number.
Oh, wow, yeah.
20% of schizophrenia cases could be prevented if young men and women simply didn't smoke as much pot as they do.
That is actually staggering to me.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that weed could cause schizophrenia ever.
Right. You got to, you got to just stay away from that shit when you're younger or just not do it all the fucking time.
I really do feel like, much like drinking, if you do it in tiny amounts or casually every now and then, socially, not a big deal. If you're that guy who needs it to eat or sleep or get through a day, might be going down a bad road,
Kip Smith says, that's why I do every drug, can't assign blame to just one. That's right. Lemmy says, yeah, you're not supposed to be doing any kind of psychotropic drugs if you have schizophrenia. It's like a law of the land. Yeah, you ain't helping.
I actually don't believe that weed alone would have caused 20% of schizophrenia cases. I don't believe it.
No, that's not what they're saying. That's not what they're saying. They're saying in 1/5 of schizophrenia cases, they can detect the brain damage associated with cannabis use disorder. So basically fog brain, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
No, they're not saying it causes schizophrenia. They're saying it'll fuck you up really bad. 1/5 of the people who have schizophrenia also have cannabis use disorder. So they're trying. It's like I said at the beginning of this, the chicken or the egg thing. You know, does the weed cause the schizophrenia? Because that's what they're inferring. Or do the people who have schizophrenia try to turn to weed to self-medicate? And
it's that one.
Yeah, it ain't helping.
The drug is not causing your mental problems. You're making it worse with your drug use.
Stevie Lou says psychedelic mushrooms are doing a lot of good right now for people with depression. Yeah, that's going to take generations, though, to actually become socially acceptable, because you're going to have to get people used to the idea of like, oh, you're depressed, take some mushrooms, because everyone associates it with mushrooms, man. You know, oh, man, you want to trip on mushrooms, man? And they're like, oh, yeah, that'll fix your depression. Like, you got to almost rewire people at that point.
Right. They don't understand that there's different dosages and uses for things.
Yeah. Oh, ketamine is a great example.
Like ketamine, too?
Ketamine is one of those things where you go, oh, that could really help people with depression. Or it could help you get really doped up so you can have an eightsome with all your other gay guy friends.
Yeah, you could be Jude Angelini and really fuck your life up.
You could just, hey, man, I'm really depressed. I'm going to do some ketamine. I'm also going to butt fuck 8 guys. So ketamine and poppers, you know, it's amazing what poppers do. Yeah, if you put ketamine in front of someone, you could be like, oh, that person is helping their depression. And then you put poppers in front of it, and you're like, oh, they're going to be on a butt-fucking marathon this evening.
Yeah, but what if that helped your depression?
That's a good point.
I don't understand.
What if having wild monkeypox-ridden, AIDS-giving eightsomes? Happy Pride Month. See, I said that.
Disease-free.
Spill it on his back. Be safe. You know?
Make a map of Hawaii.
That's right. Whitewash the fence, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh.
If you nah mean. Thank you very much to David Lyons for being a sweetheart.
Thank you.
$49.99. He says, I smoked some cherry chupacabra, and I'm definitely schizo now. It happens to the best of us. Fried Fish, becoming a member for his 12th month, says, did shrooms twice. Both times I sat in the bathroom watching the cherub wallpaper fly around the wall. That's just good fun.
That's what my friends always told me. I used to have a coworker that would do mushrooms with her husband when the kids were at somebody else's place. And she, in her daughter's bedroom, they had butterflies on the wall. And she said she'd sit on her daughter's bed and watch the butterflies fly around.
That just sounds nice.
Yeah.
Hobo Chili says, hey, it's okay, but it's okay. Pfizer can pump us with all the opiates. I don't smoke weed, but I don't have anything against it. Neither do I. I just like to see kids not do it. But yeah, I agree with you on Pfizer and all the drug companies. They're fucking animals. And they hide a lot of shit from us. And the government is complicit in that. But that's also such a big problem that it makes me just want to do mushrooms and forget that I was thinking about it.
I do think it would probably be smarter to wait until you start smoking weed casually, just to make sure you're all, you're solid before then.
Stevie Lou says, hi-oh, April with the home run. Yes.
Home run, Jefferson. Go to break.
Jeremy S. with $2 says, when I'm high, I study a lot of history. I love it. I study a lot of history when I'm not high.
You freak the fuck out when you're high.
I do. I don't do well with it.
He's not fun to be around.
I got into a discussion on Twitter yesterday with a few listeners who were listening back to the morning show, and we were talking about Saladin, the Muslim general from the Crusades. And we were going back and forth talking about, hey, how bad of a motherfucker was Saladin? And they're like, I don't know. When Richard beat him at Jaffa, he sure did turn into a timid little guy. And you're like, it's true. The lines did stabilize after that. And, we were just having a gas. Just me and the boys talking Crusader history.
No, it was the hottest thing on Twitter, for
sure.
It
was definitely, if we would have hashtagged it, we would have been number one. Hashtag Third Crusades. Hashtag Saladin.
Opportunity missed.
Union Jack says, sounds like weed doesn't fit Aaron's personality. What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean?
I think as long as I almost once or twice a year, maybe, and it's not my weed. I think if I don't smoke too much, I'm fine. If I smoke too much, I just get kind of paranoid or anxious, whatever that feeling is. I don't know.
Well, I will tell you this. We need to move on to other important topics that affect our universe and our world.
Are you sleepy?
No. We need to start something. I know I'm trying to get solemn and serious here and make sure that we're all taking this seriously. And that topic is, of course, climate change. Because hey, don't you... There's no...
Why not?
In this, because climate change is very serious. It's going to destroy the planet. It's very real. It's the craziest thing that... Well, anyway.
I'm getting sleepy.
Some lady bitched out a dude.
As you do.
For keeping his vehicle running, because that one man keeping his vehicle running, I believe this is in the UK, is going to destroy the planet and cause everything to warm and everything's going to get fucked up because this guy sat outside a building with his car idling.
I thought that was cow farts.
No, if he would have had a cow outside his car farting, it would have doubled the speed with which the earth is about to be put to rest.
Well, then I really fucked up today because I did the same thing with my truck.
Oh, no. Well, here, we got to thank Dead Fool real quick. Dead Fool with 10 gifted memberships.
Thank you.
Ryan Penny, Road Glide Vic, I like that name. Fuse for Gaming, ATF Media, My Lost Interest. Clayton, Arizona Mesa Tom, Kurt Gustafson, and Bone Cold Fleas Austin.
Fun.
All getting a membership.
Thank
Very,
you.
very cool. So, by the way, that's going to knock us down to 125. Thank you very much. So this woman goes to berate this man in his car that he's left leaving, running outside of a building. She's just, look, in my opinion, she's just doing her level best to be cautious for the climate. Some people would say, wow, what a nosy cunt. Somebody should punch her in the tits.
Piss on that.
I don't say that. I say this is a woman who's just trying to save the world, and God bless her for that. Let's check it out.
Yeah, so that's you. You're sitting in the car with the engine running. You're polluting the atmosphere. That is a crime now.
How is it a crime?
Because you are sending untold nasty emissions of poison.
It's a Tesla. Are you kidding me? What a stupid bitch.
And there's the reveal.
Yeah, no kidding.
That logo is the reveal. He's got his car running, and she says you are sending untold amounts of poison into the atmosphere. I also want you to study this woman because she is a great example of what brainwashing looks like.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people like this who they take up some trope that politicians and the news have pumped into their brain, and they fall apart at a follow-up question. You notice this woman's like, you're destroying the planet. They're so used to their friends and family members rolling their eyes and going, yep, you're right, that they've never had to defend what they say. So when they go to a stranger and they start cocking off, and they start going, you're destroying the planet with the climate and your vehicle, and they go, how so? You watch their whole face change, and they go, because...
Well...
And they start motioning and making little baby hand signals.
Yeah.
Like, because the poison and the untold amounts of the things.
The thingies, going into the thing.
It's kind of like people who don't like the show where I have to help them shit on me. I feel like I have to help like really progressive people make their own arguments so that I can counter it.
You're holding their hand through it.
Right. It's like if I'm going to give a counterpoint to what you say, I have to tell you what your point is so that you can make it. Otherwise, we'll never get to my counterpoint. You're putting untold amounts of poison into the sky. All right, ma'am. What you're saying is that I'm releasing CO2 into the atmosphere. And that CO2 gets trapped in our atmosphere and forms what you would call the greenhouse effect. And it keeps heat and warmth trapped in the earth and keeps it from escaping, thus causing the planet to heat up. Is that what you were saying? Yes, thank you. That's what I'm saying. All right, well, here's my... So you kind of have to make their point for them, and then we can continue
help
the
them
conversation.
along.
Right, exactly.
All over this area.
Well, really?
You shouldn't be allowed.
Am I really?
Yes,
I think
you
the-
are
I
really.
think that- I think-
Really, as you live and breathe, as you're talking to me now, you are sitting there with your engine running.
And you're sat there with a
polluting the
hat.
Atmosphere.
And you're sitting there, and you're standing over there with a hat on. I'm not complaining about that.
So,
This has just turned into the most retarded argument of all time.
that is a retarded counterpoint on his end.
You're wearing a stupid hat.
Stupid hat.
I mean, look, he's not wrong. But I don't know what that has to do with the climate change discussion.
She's protecting her skin from the painful sun rays.
That's right. She wouldn't have to wear that hat if you would stop idling your electric car and pumping all the poison into the air. Now, don't get me wrong. This guy is absolutely responsible for poisoning the planet with his electric car. But it's more like the slavery and the abuse that's used to mine the lithium for the lithium-ion batteries. It's also in the amount of fossil fuels it takes to charge that vehicle every single night. I mean, again, this woman doesn't know the point she's making, but she is making a point that she doesn't know exists.
Right. Or if that battery in that car were to ever like start on fire and kill somebody.
Right.
But you can't put it out.
You can't put it out unless you bury it in sand. Sorry, kids, we got to empty your playground. Why? There's a Tesla on fire down the road. You're going to have to switch to a gravel playground. More skin knees.
P-Rock.
Well, that might be a crime against fashion, but it's certainly not a crime as in the police are going to get me, are they?
Okay, so what? You're going to call the police because I'm just sat in my car?
You're sat in your car with your engine running. If you were sat in the car with your engine off, I wouldn't say anything about it.
Could you imagine feeling this entitled to go up to a complete stranger to tell them what to do with their vehicle and feeling like you're doing nothing wrong? Not only that you're actually helping things.
How long were you watching this man?
Oh, for a minute.
You know what I mean? Like, how long did you have to sit and creep on him to make sure he's sitting there?
Yeah.
But love it, it's an electric car though.
My way and enjoy my afternoon rather than engaging in a pointless conversation with you. You started it. You walked up to him and you started berating him about how he's poisoning the planet, and then you're like, I don't have time to sit here. I should be enjoying my day. It's like nobody's disagreeing with you. Nobody is.
No. Fuck all that. I want her to now be the police of the world and to go around to every parking lot where we might be idling in our vehicles.
Speaking of world policemen, I hate to get off this topic. Tomorrow morning, and by the way, April will be on the morning show tomorrow. I'm making her.
Oh, yeah, because I confirmed that.
What
if I made a date?
I'm making her either work a double or I told her if you're feeling tired, I can contact Matt and we can have Matt do the evening show tomorrow. It's kind of April's choice at this point. It's up in the air. But that's neither here nor there. On tomorrow's show, speaking of world policemen, the United States, as part of us funding Ukraine and giving them weapons, is having, this is so awkward, they're having to go to the Azov battalion and asking them, hey, look, could you take the swastikas off your helmets, please?
What? They don't look as nice, though.
So the Ukrainian military, a lot of their military, like a third of their military, are actual Nazis.
Yeah.
They're not Trump supporters. They make Donald Trump look like Dianne Feinstein. They're neo-Nazis. They wear the swastika like a stormtrooper helmet and everything. And just now, the United States is getting around to going, hey, guys, look, we're aiding you guys to the tune of like $200 billion in weapons and money.
Yeah.
We were wondering, you think you could maybe like, you know, like when you end up on TV and you have to put a black tape around your water bottle label because they can't look like they're endorsing it?
Sure.
Could you do that with your swastikas on your helmets before you go fight for your country?
No. We paid a lot of money for those.
I say, you know what? You can't censor the Ukrainians. For God's sake, they're heroes. Isn't that what our government's been telling us?
Do you remember the last time we tried to censor the Germans?
That's right.
When they had swastikas?
So now I would say that
well.
the Ukrainians, we've been painting them as these freedom fighters, as these people who are fighting tyrants from Russia, and we need to back them, and they are the downtrodden. And now we're telling them how to dress. I tell you what, it's a shameful, shameful thing.
Feels dirty.
I love that we're just caught with our fucking pants down in some of that shit. Like you can go, hey guys, hey, United States government, hey, yeah, taxpayer. Those guys are wearing Nazi shit. Have they been doing that the whole time? Oh, fuck. You guys think you could take off your Nazi shit? No, we're not taking off our Nazi shit. This is where we derive most of our powers from. Oh, okay, because the taxpayers are starting to ask questions about the Nazi shit. Yeah, I'm sure the Jewish ones. Could you cut that shit out, please? That's not helping. Am I Jewish enough, Hollywood?
Didn't we bitch about the Azov battalion like from the word go? Some of us.
Yeah, but our government just kind of ignored it. It's funny because this is the first time they've had to try to address it.
Okay.
Like their whole attitude towards this was the right attitude at first, which was ignore the Azov battalion. Let's not talk about the Nazis that were arming over in Europe to fight the Russians.
Let's just look past it.
Should have done it 80 years ago, if you ask me. Wait, what? No, we should not have armed the...
Look at all that rich history we would have missed.
I mean, really, you were just trading one prick for another. Stalin, Hitler. There was no right horse to back in that
Has
fight.
anyone ever done like a what if video on like if Stalin had came out ahead of everything?
He did.
Oh, wait.
Stalin did. You mean Hitler?
You just pit. Yep, right. Sorry.
You mean if Hitler had come out ahead?
had come out ahead.
Oh yeah, that's
Many
actually.
apologies.
I've been down that rabbit hole a bunch. That's a fun one. Oh, that's a fun one.
Oh, is it
no,
fun?
I don't mean like it's a good
Oh,
thing.
it's fun now.
No. I don't mean it's a fun thing to watch and see what would have happened if Hitler would have won. I mean like it's interesting to look. We were talking.
We're all
about,
wearing Hugo Boss now.
We were talking about this woman in the
I think
climate.
it's much more
We're
interesting.
trying to save the world over here.
No.
I hope
like,
it's not pointless because I'm hoping that you're going to turn that bloody engine off.
Love, it's an electric
Yeah,
car.
no, you've got a child in the back there.
Love, it's an
Do you know
electric
what
car.
you're doing?
He's not.
That's maybe why
Okay.
he's got it on.
First of all, it's an electric car, but let's say it was a gas-powered car. He's not taking a hose and putting it up to the exhaust and then putting the other end of the hose in the child's mouth.
Excuse me, can you see in the back?
That's true. I can't
What
confirm
is
or
wrong
deny
with
that he's
you?
doing it.
What if that child is in danger?
I would hope that she would have said something by now.
She is.
Doing to that child? You got the window open, talking to me, as you would, of course.
But I'm saying it's an electric car, though.
It's not an electric car.
It's an electric car. Look,
It's a Tesla.
There's no emissions
What
coming
are you
out of it.
pointing at that for? What's that?
It's the fucking Tesla logo, you dumb broad.
This is an oh you didn't know moment.
But this is most people's experience arguing with people who are of this mindset. It's if you hear a fact that you don't like, just pretend you didn't hear it and continue browbeating the person.
That is actually every sort of troll person out there.
No, or any progressive person too, like in politics.
That qualifies as troll person.
That's true. That's kind of
on.
yeah.
No.
What is that? What? Oh, so that tells me it's an electric car.
Touching my car now. What? You've
I'm
got the
just trying
right.
All right.
You've got the right to invade
okay.
my finger.
I'm not going
and-
to touch your car again.
Thank
but I'm
you.
just telling you. You can't just point to that insignia, which I've never seen before,
It's-
and tell me that
Well,
that's an electric.
Wait, she's Miss Environmentalism. She's Miss. By the way, call back in a little bit there, buddy. We weren't hooked up to the thing here, but she's Miss Environmentalism. She's Miss. I'm here to fight on behalf of the the silent majority here who want to save the planet, and she's never heard of a Tesla before. Beautiful.
Teslas are everywhere.
But it's an electric car. There's no
that suits
emissions.
you, doesn't it?
But
Okay,
you see-
so it's a very quiet engine. It is really quiet. I'll give you that. It's quiet, but it's silent but deadly.
No, it's fucking electric.
She's comparing this car to her farts.
Yeah, she's comparing this to popcorn
Her
farts.
toxic emissions.
Yeah.
God damn.
I know a thing or two about
Old
toxic
lady.
emissions. I eat a lot of popcorn and I pass gases in my living room.
No, stop.
And I know about silent but deadly.
Is that just you now or is that her talking?
It's the spirit speaks through me.
It is silent but deadly. Those poisons,
There
those
is
gases,
no engine.
they can't be seen.
There's no engine.
Look,
there is
just
an
listen
engine.
to me, all right?
I'm listening.
You listen to me.
All right.
Okay.
That's all he's
right.
been
Yeah,
doing.
all right.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, all right.
Stop it! God, I'm pissed.
What?
This is pissing me the fuck off, actually. Like, what she just
Okay.
said. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
Conversation, please.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to explain to you.
Yeah.
Right, you see, there are things that you can't see, right?
Yeah.
Gas is one of them.
Yeah.
Poisonous gas
Yeah.
is something that you can't see.
Well, I wish I had some right now.
She's about to make like a CO2
Yeah.
like in your house
I would.
reference.
I wish I had a fucking cyanide capsule. Is what I wish I had right about now. Jesus, just let me drive away with my children.
Would you?
Yeah.
You
By the
can't
way.
see it.
Yeah.
And it's poisoning. You see, these people here,
Yeah.
they agree with me, you see.
Well,
They,
I know.
they do, yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that this is there's no emissions.
There you go. She's still. I don't think she's understanding.
I reckon my name's Carl.
All right. Oh, it's Carl Childers. Hello, buddy. What can we do for you, sir?
Oh.
Yeah, well, I had me a few opinions, I reckon, about what's going on between these two boys.
Oh, well, one's a woman, but I understand, Carl. It's hard to tell.
I don't know which one you calling a woman and that, but you ought not talk about boys like that when they're in the back of a car. Will it be electric or gas powered? If it's electric cars, they're usually out of gas.
What are you trying to say about gas-powered cars or electric cars?
Well,
Come on.
I had to say that
Bring it home for a Landon.
gas-powered cars, they're generally easier.
You can do this.
Fire there.
Okay, but Carl, what about the gas contents of an electric car? How much gas does that car have in it?
Well, it depends on your tank there.
What if it's absolutely empty? What would you say if you looked in a gas tank and it was completely empty?
I'd say it's out of gas.
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate your contribution to the program. Does anyone else want to help Carl Childers out with what his line was supposed to be? Not you yet. Thank you to Matt Fields with $4.99. Says April's thank you is so sweet and genuine. I see through it, though, you vile succubus, emptying our wallets with wholesomeness and manners. And Hobo Chili Recipe with $4.99 says, I want to like Azov Battalion for their can-do attitude and their fashion motif, but they are garbage pail kids of Eastern Europe.
A Garbage Pail Kids reference. Did you have any of those?
Oh, people are screaming at him. Balls Deep writes, ain't got no fucking gas in it.
Right. He just couldn't get there.
He's supposed to say, ain't got no gas in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I set him up so many times.
Is he okay, by the way?
The guy playing the character?
Right, that one.
I mean, as well as he's been.
Is he okay?
As well as he's been. Let's go back.
Oh, no.
Call from
Cerberus.
What's up, Cerberus?
I know what's wrong with it.
Oh,
Ain't got no gas in it.
Attaboy. There you go, Cerberus. Thank you very much. That's what like when you miss a birdie putt by like that much and someone just comes on and they go tap it in, just taps it in for you.
Tap it in.
Hobo Chili Recipe says steel toe coffee makes me nervous when I drink it.
Mm-hmm. I don't have enough gravel for that.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't.
April,
I can't get it in my throat.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I cannot get it in my throat.
Ladies and gentlemen, April Imholt attempts a Carl Childers impression. Go ahead.
No, I just did.
Try this. Ready? All right, Dan.
Oh, God. I need phlegm. I don't have.
You don't. You just need gravel. You need to put gravel in your voice.
I'm a lady. All right, then.
Oh, God.
I can't. Terrible. I can't. There's no gravel.
All right. How about this one? Just go, I ain't fixing to put you out none. Mm-hmm.
I'm fixing to put you out none.
Oh, my God. This is...
You have to understand, ladies don't have that.
This is depressing.
If I smoked a pack a day, would you be happy?
Well, here, how's this? We'll get another woman to call in.
I'll put some tar in my throat.
Lemmy, why don't you call in and you try to give us a Carl Childers, and then that way we'll see if this is actually a women's issue.
I didn't puss
like
out.
Abortion.
I tried. I can't get it that deep. I can't get it deep in my throat like where it needs to be.
That's going to get clipped. Zen Rhino says... Ain't no petrol in it, bro. He did it British. He did a British way of doing it.
In it, bro.
It's fantastic.
Cute.
Two Hands in a Radio says, quote of the week, I can't get it deep in my throat.
You know who can? Gino Bisconte.
Certainly can. A giant pink dildo.
Can we show that on here? I don't think
cannot.
so.
No, we cannot. 120 away from tonight's goal. You guys are doing an amazing job. Thank you very much. There's all the PayPal, Streamlabs, and Venmo information right there in the chat. But also, we do have the super chats and the memberships, which seem to be very, very popular tonight. Thank you. All right, let's go to the phones again.
Call from
Little Lemmy, I guess.
Hello.
Hey.
Are you going to try? Now, April says that women can't get gravel in their voice enough to do a Carl Childers impersonation.
Well, I reckon she ain't got no gas in her.
I mean, that's not,
pretty close.
You know what? That's not bad. That you got some gravel in there. Would you like to give April any pointers on how you can do that? Because she can't get it in her throat.
I have a theory. She gargled granny cum.
Oh. No, ew, gross. That's straight pieces. But no, you got to smoke a pack and a half of cigarettes a day since you were about 19 years old.
Any certain kind? I don't really smoke cigarettes.
The cheapest.
Oh, I was just going to say, we should all try to guess what what Lemmy's smoking.
Yeah, what do you smoke?
305, the cheapest.
Oh. I don't know much about
That's a
cigarettes.
lot of weed, too.
I've never been a cigarette smoker, so I don't know. Are Virginia Slims still a thing?
Oh.
I don't know. I think so. I think they are.
Are they cheap? I don't know if they're cheap or not. I have no idea. I don't know the market.
No, they're not.
Do you know what they call
They're
cigarettes across the pond?
Queers, I believe.
Shags?
Yeah, well, it's queers. I believe they call them Zumox. Across the pond. All right, Lemmy, thank you very much. Appreciate your time and your effort.
Thanks, Lemmy.
Well, I reckon I'll be out then.
Oh my God, that sounds more like that sounds more like Roseanne. What the fuck? That was haunting.
That was scary. It was iconic.
I'm not.
I'm turning into Keanu now.
I'm not going to forget that one. No matter how much I try,
It's gonna haunt your sleep.
I will not be able to get that out of my
You
head.
were having fits in your sleep again last night.
Was
Did
I
you know
really?
that?
What was I saying? What was I doing?
Aaron's trademark, whenever he starts in with his fit, he always starts with, he tosses and then he says, no, I didn't see him. I didn't see him. So I'll play along and be like, see who? And you go ahead and say, well, they stole somebody. I'm like, well,
Oh,
who'd they
so I was
steal?
talking about black people in my dream.
I don't know, but somebody got stolen and you didn't see them, although you knew that they got stolen, and then just kind of went on from there.
I was probably being racist.
You're always throwing fits, though.
Yeah, I was probably being racist in my sleep. All right. Well, we continue on. Let's talk about. I love these. I'm a sucker for these. This is like Mersh and body cam arrest videos. Mine are plane disturbance videos. You give me look, man. I don't discriminate. I love a good spirit and frontier, ghetto freak out. Don't get me wrong.
I've heard
but
some things.
I also love a good American Airlines white trash freak out too.
Oh, when ladies try to get on not wearing nice enough pants.
Those bitches.
Those fucking whores.
Well, now we have one, a Detroit airport flight diverted to Canada because of an unruly passenger. All right, everybody, the window is open and we are taking bets. Detroit Metro Airport. Guess in your head. Guess in your head. Guess in your head.
Putting me in a bad pot here.
I'm putting you in a bad pot. Okay.
Bad position.
All right. Does everybody
spot position pot?
Has everybody got their bets in? We're gonna take bets for a couple more seconds. Then we're gonna start the story, and we're going to see who caused the disturbance from Detroit Metro Airport. Get ready.
Somebody said Norwegian.
Okay, well, that one's paying off at about 36-1. Here we go. Oh, look at
Maybe.
that. Buffer. Oh, this is
But we begin tonight
tense.
with that mid-flight meltdown and the arrest caught on camera. Thank you so much for joining us for 7 Action News at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Mike Duffy. Crew members and passengers on an international Delta flight jump into action to restrain a violent man.
It happened on a flight from...
Ooh, you know what? Violent man. That leads me to believe white.
Zumach.
You can't afford plane tickets.
Paris to Detroit Metro. The plane forced to make an emergency landing in Stephenville, Canada. Passengers finally making it to Detroit Metro Airport just a short while.
So it was coming from Europe to Detroit. Okay.
Well, I can understand that. Then you'd throw a fit too if you had to land in Detroit. You
Yeah,
don't
he
want
was
to go
just-
back there.
He was just trying to avoid landing in Detroit. That's all he was doing.
Right. Take me anywhere but there.
Ago.
7 Action News reporter Simon Shaquette is at the airport showing us what exactly happened.
Witnesses are recalling a frightening experience on board a Delta flight traveling from Paris.
Delta, all the signs, it's all coming up white.
Not good. It does seem pretty white right now.
Flight from Europe, it was a guy.
White as the driven snow.
Delta Airlines, you guys are those of you who went white on this story are looking for a good payout here.
Got this
to
guy
Detroit
reporting.
after they say another passenger became violent and they had to make an unplanned stop.
I'm under arrest for what?
Oh,
How did he sneak onto a Delta flight?
oh boy. So we went African black.
I would really like to refund my tickets that I had planned.
You know, it's nice to see that this woman put her flotation device on just in case they had an ocean crash. She would have been able to float to safety. Some people are better safe than sorry. You put that life preserver on, that flotation thing. I don't know people who put them under their shirts and inflate them. That's kind of a weird thing, but, God bless her for doing that.
I don't know. I think you should really explain your joke further.
Oh, see, I meant she's got giant tits.
That's our new bit tonight, isn't it?
Okay. Over-explain the joke guy.
Over-explained jokes.
I hate her hair, though. I do want to. I would like to shave her head and then hit her with a tennis racket. But
I got wet shower hair right now. I can't complain.
Well, I'm I'm a picture of perfection, so I can.
You are pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah.
On video shared with us by passengers.
Excuse me, officer, but I was trying to take a shit next to the goat.
I think you're wrong. That guy was sagging his pants.
Okay.
That's not
But it's France. That tells me North Africa.
I feel somehow inclined to disagree with you.
Okay.
I understand where you're
traveling
coming
from Paris to Detroit on Delta Flight 97. He allegedly caused a scene after becoming violent as the plane flew.
Oh no, a North African Muslim dude getting really fucking bitchy and violent on an international flight. Could you imagine how many of those people were shitting bricks?
What? What are you trying to insinuate
I'm trying to
here,
say
mister?
that, I don't know, a Muslim acting violent on a plane might make people nervous?
I don't see why.
Through the air.
What am I under arrest for?
Passenger Dina Haddad took out her cell phone to shoot video.
There was someone being violent and they wouldn't calm down. We just wanted to get here as soon as possible.
Oh my God, enough with the fucking neck. Oh, you know what? It's an international flight. I'll let you do your neck pillow.
Yeah, you don't want to have a kinked neck.
I get
after that flight. Fuck.
Look, if you're the 350-pound woman sitting next to me on a 3-hour flight from Las Vegas to Minneapolis, get your fucking neck pillow out of here. You look ridiculous. You look like
you
a
could
little
just use your neck
marshmallow.
Fat. Just use your neck fat.
Yeah.
Glob it up.
Yeah, it was just kind of scary at that little bit.
The emergency landing in Stephenville, Newfoundland, Canada, also unsettling for those.
Is it still fucking snowing in Newfoundland? Why does anyone live there?
Oh, the Newfies love it.
The Newfies get snow in June. Fuck your life.
Expecting a quiet flight. We're told multiple other passengers also stepped in to help control the man who brought alcohol on board and broke free from restraints.
How?
How did
that happen?
Well, he just put it on his carry-on.
Chrissy Mayer can't get on there with fucking see-through pants, but he can get on with alcohol.
Well, Chrissy Mayer, they have no problem checking.
She's
This
got a
guy,
nice, sweet ass.
they're
fine.
they're worried about his. I
don't like it.
About his lawyer. Hi, passengers, lawyer. But yeah, he snuck the booze in on the carry-on, and then he got super fucked up, and then he got violent. Then they tried to tie him up with the duct tape. He broke free of that. He just had to land in fucking Newfoundland. As if your day can't get any worse. You're already having to fly across the ocean to fucking Detroit, the armpit of America. And then you go, oh, wait, there's a crazy Muslim on board who's getting violent. Okay, this flight is officially the worst flight ever. Oh, and by the way, we're going to have to put her down in Newfoundland. Could you imagine? Hey, guys, we got 2 hours delay in Newfoundland.
A lot of cute dogs.
Oh, it should be.
Those fucking white fluffy things.
Would be so great. I'd love to look up the Newfoundland International Airport, like what they have for restaurants and bars.
We should look,
shit.
like, what does Newfoundland have to offer
Just
if we land there?
A lot of moose.
Knuckle?
Not for your hair.
Knuckle.
The big moose.
The knuckle.
We arrived to Canada and we saw the police cars and, you know, we felt secured and fine.
He was ready to throw hands. I saw the whole back of the plane was being interactive with him.
According to the CEO of Stephenville Diamond International Airport, the 34-year-old man prompted an emergency call from pilots at 12:33 local Canadian time. A spokesperson for Delta saying Delta has zero tolerance for unruly behavior, especially when it potentially compromises the safety of our customers and flight crew.
Yeah, I mean, what are you supposed to do? You can't just, I mean, if the guy's already broken free from restraints once, you can't, be like, we'll just sit on him.
Dude,
the rest of the way.
You cannot allow that shit, let alone on like an international flight that's taking forever. You can't have that.
No.
Think about it. Like, even like for us to get to Las Vegas is a 3-hour flight, and that would feel like a lifetime if you've got somebody unruly on it.
And then, what's nice about it, and Triple N kind of nails it, is that I'm sure there were a couple of optimists on the plane when they landed in Newfoundland. They go, hey guys, I mean, bright side, we're not in Detroit.
That is the better option, actually. Maybe
Right.
you don't go back.
I'll just get off in Newfoundland.
You've got your passport, clearly, because you made it across the pond.
Right. I'll just start my new life.
In Newfoundland.
In Newfoundland, Canada. And I won't have to be in Detroit
newfound
anymore.
land. You're there. Get it? We're over-explaining now?
We've still got an hour and 20 minutes if we hit overtime tonight.
Fire me, you pussy. Do it. Fucking do it.
We've got to fucking pace ourselves this evening, my friends. 120 away from knocking it out tonight. There's the Streamlabs, the PayPal, and the Venmo. Super Chats, memberships, and gifted memberships all count as well. This is terrifying.
Uh-oh.
This next one that we have here. I want to see if I can find the news organization that did this one. I don't want to read it. I want to show. I didn't know there was sheriff's video of this.
I have read it. It's terrifying.
Potentially, yes. Drunk boater. Okay, that's not the one. Here we go. I think we might get a video out of this one.
All right.
Yes. All right, let's do it.
Ooh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
How much have you had to drink?
We don't have no alcohol.
I'm looking at it.
That's not what they asked you, sir. They didn't say, how much alcohol do you have on board? They said, how much have you had to drink?
Oh, I don't have any sure I drank it all.
How much cocaine do you have on this boat? I don't have any cocaine on the boat. Unless you're nicknaming me the boat.
Oh,
in which case, a lot.
Got an empty beer can.
What?
I'm Sergeant Cinny with the Pinellas County Sheriff.
Fuck that. I love that guy. Sir, how much booze do you have on this boat? There's no alcohol on this boat. That's a beer can. Yep. Hey.
He's fun.
You got me. You're a hell of an investigator. This guy reminds me of Randy Quaid's character in Independence Day.
Yeah.
How much have you had to drink?
We don't have no alcohol.
I'm looking at an empty beer can.
That's the greatest response.
Did he say yeah or shit?
He goes, yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I meant except for that one. And technically...
I mean, one beer can, officer, and there's not even alcohol in it.
Right. That guy said, how much alcohol have you had? He said, there's no alcohol on this boat. And he goes, well, that's an empty beer can. He's like, exactly, officer. It's empty.
I wish you would have said not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Not enough.
How much have you had to drink?
We don't have no alcohol.
I'm looking at an empty beer can.
I'm Sergeant Cinny with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. Yesterday, Marine deputies responded to a call on Madeira Beach regarding a fishing vessel with its operator unconscious and slumped over at the helm.
This guy is passed the fuck out behind the wheel, and he's just cruising with the throttle down through the water.
And if I may, if you can see that red thing, I believe that's his boatmate. That was in the previous video.
The other guy's passed out. They both drank until they passed the fuck out while he was driving the boat. There's about 4 kids on the beach who are about to have their fucking throats cut right now by a boat prop.
This is really scary. You're right.
That's a hell of a way to go. Would you rather see that with 2 passed out passengers barreling towards you as you're swimming, or a shark heading towards you?
That.
Really?
Every single time.
That thing's so much faster, though.
I don't really care.
Oh, boy.
One of them's more scary to me.
The passenger was also unresponsive on the deck of the boat, and the vessel was making its way toward a public swimming beach. The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office helicopter was able to locate the vessel as it entered the swimming area where swimmers were present. Marine deputies arrived on scene, operating 2 different Sheriff's Office vessels. Contact was made on the port side of the vessel, while the other deputies...
Wait a minute, how did he stop, though? Like, if he was...
I don't know.
He must have came to at some point.
Somebody probably screamed at him, is my guess, and he's like, oh, what the fuck was that?
That's such a scary feeling, though, like when you fall asleep and you didn't know it and you wake up.
Do you know what I kind of wish they would have done instead?
What?
Instead of careening towards the beach, they should have just booked it to the middle of the fucking ocean, just out into the ocean where they can't see anything.
And then
they come to one day and they're like, oh my God, where are we?
They come to and they've run aground in Barbados. They're just like, how the fuck did this happen?
And then they say, why is the rum always gone?
They wake up on the beach and a man goes, hello there, partner. What are you doing in our country? And he's like, what the fuck is...
Why is Chet Hanks there?
Am I in the Keys? You rascot bomberclad man. You is not in Florida anymore. You is done passed out on your boat, man. You had too much of the drink. And you wound up passed out in your boat. And now you're in Barbados.
Simultaneously initiated contact on the starboard side. As contact was made, the operator of the vessel was conscious but visibly disoriented and confused and had bloodshot.
Is that puke by his feet or his shadow?
No, that's just like...
It looks brown.
Shit from the water.
It's shit water.
Yeah, guys, of course he was disheveled and he was a little out of it. He was a little discombobulated. He just woke up from a nap, and here you are. Guys got lights and sirens and shit blaring at him, and, you're confusing him.
Just leave him alone for a little bit.
God.
Let him gather his bearings.
Let him wake up. He's really drunk.
That is true. There is no really talking to somebody who's that drunk.
Yeah, you got to let him wake up for a second and come to. He's incredibly shit-faced.
Shot and glassy eyes.
Where'd you park?
At the Alify River off 41.
The Alify River?
Yeah.
Do you know where you are now?
Right now, I think we're way out of the way.
I love this guy. Right now, I think we're way out of the way. That's my political way of saying I have no fucking idea where I am.
That is so cute somehow. I've got no idea.
Yeah. When did you leave the dock?
What is it? 7:30?
I love how he's looking at his buddy who was just passed out on the floor while they were taking a joyride towards a beach.
Dude, his buddy's hanging on for dear life trying not to fall off the side of the boat.
Morning?
Yeah.
Okay. How much have you had to drink?
We don't have no alcohol.
I'm looking at an empty beer can.
Yeah.
The driver.
This is going to be good. I love that they broadcast this shit instead of keeping it private.
I love Florida, man. They're the best.
Yeah.
Driver of the boat performed poorly on field sobriety tests and was arrested for one count of DUI. Thanks to the quick actions of all deputies involved, there were no injuries. The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office is committed to reducing deaths, injuries, and property damage associated with the impaired operation of vessels.
You party pooper.
Yeah, you seem too corporate for me. I don't like it.
That guy was just having a good time.
Get the fuck out of here. Go have a drink.
To be fair, he told the truth, says Alcoholic Ape. They no longer had any alcohol on the boat.
That is, in fact, the truth.
Dead Jester, how fast were you going back there? Speed limit, tops. Exactly.
Do you think they were on a gay drinking cruise together?
Oh, maybe they were a couple of old homos celebrating Pride Month, and they were getting fucked up, and they were going to go have butt sex in the middle of the ocean.
It's the only place they can do it without shame.
Yeah.
Sad.
What's wrong with your boat, sir? Ain't got no gas in it.
Smells like shit.
Mr. Monkeypox says, my only question is, does the sheriff spokeslady have an OnlyFans? You know what? I
think she is hot, but I think she's a little bigger than you guys think she is if you look at her shoulders and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a bigger broad, you guys.
Yeah. She is cute. I love a brunette with blue eyes.
She's got a decent enough face, but yeah, I don't trust the rest of her. Plus, she's a cop.
Look her up. She's got a name.
They've all got. I don't listen to their names.
Sinny, Sinni.
Sergeant Sinny.
Yep.
Pinellas County. All right, Sergeant. I can't spell Sergeant. Well, how do I?
Sergeant.
I. What county? Not Flagler. Pinellas. Pinellas County. All right.
Images.
All right, let's pick out the. Oh, that's her?
Yes.
I mean, that's not bad.
When was that picture taken?
It's sometime. March of 2020 or April of 2022, so about a year ago.
Okay.
That picture was taken. That's not our hashtag not our sergeant, hashtag not our sergeant.
I wish they had just an up-close picture of her.
Where the fuck is
there
this
she
bitch?
Is.
Yeah, there she is doing another thing, but...
look at her neck, look at her neck.
Yeah, that neck roll gives it away. Oh, I love that we're objectifying women tonight.
Guys, really cute face, though.
Yeah.
She is the opposite of a butterface. She's a butter body.
She'd better be wearing a neck pillow. That's all I can say.
It's a flesh tone neck pillow.
Yeah, I'm hoping that is. Flying J Lot Lizard says, okay, then a Clearwater 6.
Yeah, she's fine.
I seem to upset some people by confusing Flagler County and Pinellas County.
Oh, the people from down there are like mad at you now.
I apologize to anyone in Florida. I did not mean to upset anyone at all. Arnold Schwarzenegger says that it was down to him and OJ Simpson for the role of the Terminator. OJ did not get the role, obviously. Arnold Schwarzenegger went on to become the Terminator. But, April, do you know why? Am I Jewish enough, Hollywood? Do you know why O.J. Simpson did not get the role? Because it wasn't given to Arnold because they thought he deserved it more. It was more taken away from O.J. for a very specific reason.
Well, seeing as you primed me with that drop. I'm going to say the Jews.
No, it had nothing to do with that.
Oh.
So OJ Simpson. OJ Simpson.
Swimpson is way more fun. I like that.
OJ Simpson was not given the role. Why? Give me your best guess.
He's black.
Had nothing to do with
race.
He
beheaded 2 people.
This was long before that.
The fucking outfit didn't fit.
The people, and by the way, Optic Nerve got it. They did not see OJ Simpson as a believable killer.
You have got to be kidding me.
Well, they didn't have a crystal ball. They didn't know what was going to happen.
They didn't have a little magic 8 ball they could shake and be like, did OJ do it? Can he do it for my movie?
No. April. You're thinking, you're fucking up your timeline here.
What?
Terminator was long before the murders.
I know that.
OJ Simpson was a massive star.
No, I got that.
Before that. They wouldn't give him the gig because they went, I don't know, man. OJ is a guy who just goes through time fucking wasting people and killing women. I don't see it.
No, again, I'll say I got that.
And then a few years later, all of a sudden, you're good. I'm sure the people... Look, I'm not saying that the Terminator people regretted their decision. Clearly, it worked out just fine for them. 9 fucking movies later, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's saggy ball sack still playing the Terminator tells you they're happy with their choice. And I don't think the franchise could have lived as long if they would have... They would have gotten the first 2 in.
I actually think that more people would go see it if it was OJ. Like today. Not back then, but today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now tell me who's going to make the movie starring OJ Simpson.
The Jews.
Maybe Roman Polanski. You might be able to get Roman.
Somebody will like it.
That's about it.
Like, this is going to make money.
K-Fish with $4.99 says, this is for April. Your beauty makes life worth exploring outside of Diablo 4. Wish me luck, boys.
Wow.
There you go. He's going to go out and try to find some pussy now.
Thank you.
Because of you.
I like that.
$1.99 Cato TM says Epstein didn't commit suicide. Okay, well, I mean,
says with a C.
Yeah, with a C. That's a totally different thing. Joe Smash becoming a member for his 12th month says, so are you saying OJ will be back?
Oh.
I just really love that Arnold Schwarzenegger told us that story now where he's like, yeah, look, man, I was this guy. I was a nut hair away from not being Terminator, and the only reason I was able to be Terminator was because they didn't see OJ realistically killing anybody. So Arnold has to thank OJ for holding on to his homicidal rage for just like 6 years before he finally decided, you know what, I'm going to cut a couple of people's heads off. Allegedly, he was acquitted. I don't know. In my opinion, it could have happened.
How funny would that be, though?
Again, they only would have gotten 2 movies in.
Who cares?
You wouldn't be.
You always say, too, like, why don't we cut off movie franchises before they get stupid?
Dude, I saw the one. What's the Terminator one where they have the original Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator, but then they have Arnold as an old man Terminator to help them out as well?
I just watched one with my
Is that
parents.
Salvation?
I think it's Salvation because I think I just watched Salvation with my parents. When I went home to do some work, we did it at supper.
It's the one where he's old man Schwarzenegger and he's the Terminator.
The one I watched had the original Sarah Connor in it, but she's like an old lady too. And there's like a short-haired blonde chick and like a younger brunette that are involved. And he is in it too.
It looked like dog shit.
I didn't hate it and I didn't like it. I don't know. It was nothing for me.
It looked really bad. E-Rock says OJ is pretty loved on social media. Genesis, that's the one I'm thinking of. Terminator Genesis, where it's young Arnold versus old Arnold. He's like, I've been waiting for you. And then they're going to duke it out. Get it? Technology. We can do the whole thing.
So is OJ the most forgiven killer of all time? As is like Mike Tyson is the most forgiven rapist?
Most forgiven murderer of all time. Wow, that's a good question. Mike Tyson
loved.
Easily the most Mike Tyson not easily the most forgiven rapist of all time. Bill Clinton, Roman Polanski. Convicted? Convicted? Yeah, then it's Mike Tyson. Otherwise,
wait, did Bill Clinton actually do
that? Probably. But most forgiven murderer of all time, Hitler? No, I'm just kidding.
Are you kidding me?
I'm just kidding.
Imhold?
No, of course not.
What kind of show do you run here?
You got to be convicted. So even OJ wouldn't fit into that one.
King of all diffs says Obama.
Right. You go, every president ever.
Every president ever bombing
Caitlyn
poor
Jenner.
brown people. Yeah, I guess because wasn't there a car accident that people died in, but then she came out as trans and kind of
skated on murdering a lady.
Oh no.
She killed
she ran for office after.
Caitlyn Jenner killed a woman with her car and then chopped her dick off and said, "I'm a girl now." And then they were like, "Well, I guess then we'll forget about the whole killing someone with your vehicle thing."
Bruce, I mean, Caitlyn killed a guy.
Well, no, Bruce killed a woman.
And then it ended up being Caitlyn, right?
And then Caitlyn was innocent, so they couldn't really charge.
Well, it's not that person. Holy fucking shit. If you ever want to beat a murder rap, you just become a different person.
Whoa, wait. You're missing a key ingredient in the Caitlyn Jenner thing.
Lopping your dick off?
No. A lot of money. Yeah. You can't just be a poor person and go, "Hey, I chopped my dick off. We're cool now, right?" No. They're still throwing you in prison.
Well, you can't charge Bruce Jenner. Well, you can charge Bruce Jenner for murder or homicidal murder or whatever the fuck. But if I'm Caitlyn Jenner, that means I'm off the hook.
I didn't do anything.
The charges were under Bruce.
Yeah. I don't know. As far as the most forgiven murderer of all time, it's got to be someone who is convicted. So
somebody's saying Alec Baldwin.
But he hasn't been.
He did indeed kill somebody. They just haven't agreed that it was his fault.
Sure. But do people forgive him? I don't think people really forgive him, though. They're making the movie.
They're making the movie. I'd consider it forgiven.
That's more of an in for a penny, in for a pound kind of thing. You know,
that's not forgiveness.
Ooh, Ted Kennedy. That's a good one. But again, he wasn't convicted. Ted Kennedy let a woman drown at Chappaquiddick and just went on to be a senator for the rest of his life.
John Wayne Gacy was pretty loved until they had him found out.
Yeah. Well, with Ted Kennedy, it was funny because I've heard people say, "Oh, well, you know, Ted Kennedy did end up getting punished. He never got to be president." I'm like, yeah, because that's the punishment that most murderers get. Most people who leave someone to drown and kill them and don't report it until a couple of days later. I mean, those people, it's like, hey, don't try them in court. Don't throw them in prison. I mean, for God's sake, they're already not going to be president.
Alex Bernal with a good one. Casey Anthony.
Again, acquitted though. Like we got to.
But she did do it. It's just the reasoning behind it. They made it sound like, well, influence from other sources.
We need to do a better job of like setting our parameters for this next time. Because here's a good one: Christopher Walken, Vince Neil.
Did Christopher Walken?
Well, here's the rumor. Here's the rumor. Number 2 from Austin Powers, Robert Wagner.
Okay.
Robert Wagner and Christopher Walken were on a boat with Robert Wagner's girlfriend at the time, Natalie Wood. And Natalie Wood drowned on that boat. It's kind of like Brad Pitt's character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and his wife, and nobody really knows what happened. But the rumor is that Wagner and Walken...
I would have such a sincerely hard time living with that and not getting that off my chest. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a hard one where you just got to look at the other guy on the boat and be like, boy, sure sucks. Accidents suck, don't they?
That's the worst part, is wondering if the other guy's ever going to break.
You got to trust each other. That's it.
Yeah. Have you ever watched the movie Juice, the Tupac and Omar Epps movie? Nope. Juice? That was the whole thing about Juice, was that Tupac's character got driven so insane by, were his buddies going to tell someone about the guy their friend that they killed?
Right.
Or, was everyone going to be quiet? The more people who are involved in being quiet on something, the more paranoid everybody gets. But Robert Wagner and Christopher Walken, if anything happened, they've kept the secret.
Somebody I saw brought up Kyle Rittenhouse.
We should make this the most forgiven killers of all time. Lee Harvey Oswald, Vince Russo, Suge Knight. I don't know how
Suge
forgiven.
Knight's not forgiven.
I don't know how forgiven and well-liked Suge Knight is.
No.
Oh, all right, boys and girls. 1:15 away from hitting that goal and doing overtime today. There's the links in the chat. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo. Super chats and memberships are welcome. Thank you very much. We went off very nicely at the beginning of the show, so we're in a good spot to knock that out tonight. We will be rattling the cans in about 25 minutes and doing our e-beggar best to kill that number. Until then, if you'd like to help out, you know where the links are. They're pinned to the top of our chat. This is just a short little story. It's very interesting, but it's in a kind of a niche thing. It's in golf.
Oh, so you're all about it.
Well, the PGA Tour has now been forced to merge. They've agreed to merge with the Saudi-funded rival. The PGA Tour had this thing called LIV, L-I-V, that the Saudis created to compete with the PGA Tour because some guys weren't happy with the PGA Tour. They weren't doing business properly, whatever.
Okay.
And so a bunch of pretty famous golfers decided to go over to LIV. They crossed the line and joined this rival group. Well, now there's so much money behind this LIV Golf that they're actually now merging with the PGA Tour. It's not a hostile takeover. It's literally the two of them running independently, competing against each other. There's not enough golf to be played, not enough money to be made. But with the financial backing that LIV has and the contracts with the courses that the PGA has, they put it together. You can form a super group, if you will.
Interesting.
LIV Golf is run by the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, which is controlled by the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. That's another guy they referenced as a killer for what he did to allegedly Jamal Khashoggi. The upstart league came out of nowhere and was able to lure numerous top stars away from the PGA Tour, including Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau, with massive paydays funded by Saudi oil money. Mickelson, for instance, is estimated to have signed a $200 million deal to deflect to LIV. That's not including any prize money he wins. So
wow.
They just started throwing money, and Phil Mickelson is a name, but he's old and hasn't been super competitive.
Who the hell cares? Yeah. But I didn't understand that the Saudis were so interested in golf.
Well,
I understand it's a money thing.
Yeah, they got places they need to put that money. So all of the LIV people,
golf is so random.
All the LIV people like Phil Mickelson, they're super pumped about this. They think it's great. And all the PGA people are kind of like, yeah, we're merging with LIV. So it sounds like the LIV is getting the better of this deal. Now, the full statement from the PGA Tour. Looks like I'm using an ad. Yes, I am using an ad blocker. I will turn it off for you. There you go.
We're sorry,
now.
golf people.
You can put banners all over your fucking page now.
As long as they're gay.
Notably, today's announcement will be followed by a mutually agreed end to all pending litigation between the participating parties. Further, the three organizations will work cooperatively and in good faith to establish a fair and objective process for any players who wish to reapply for membership with the PGA Tour or the DP World Tour. Well, that sounds like a fun tour.
That's just hot.
It's just mouth and ass and all kinds of shit.
Oh, God, I'm horny now.
Following the completion of the 2023 season. So basically, they're going to finish out the year.
Okay.
And then they've got to figure out how to put this giant, big conglomerate together.
Can you imagine getting paid $200 million to golf? $200 million. I can't imagine being paid $250,000 to golf.
After you've had a career where you've made millions of dollars.
Your dick is just instantly hard.
I'm just saying, if they gave Mickelson $200 million to join LIV, how much do you think they offered Tiger Woods, which he never took, by the way? And he's not a competitive golfer anymore. He hasn't won a Masters or majors in like 5 years.
400.
But he's still a huge draw. I'm thinking they offered him at least $500 million.
I was going to say 400 million.
Yeah, to bring Tiger over. PGA got big dicked by LIV money, period.
Can't the Saudis kind of just big dick anyone if they want to?
They got a lot of money. They're bringing fights over there now. They're bringing WrestleMania type events over there. They are cooking over in Saudi Arabia, man.
On cruise control.
But that's good. We don't need to drill for our own oil. Why should we? They're doing great. Let's go check this one out in Michigan, I believe. A 10-year-old decided to take his parents' SUV for a joyride.
Oh, no.
And to be honest with you, he did a pretty good job.
Well, it's all those video games, all the VR.
Yeah, I mean, all the games he's playing has really made him a hell of a driver because for a 10-year-old whose feet can probably barely touch the pedals, I mean...
Ugh. Yeah, right. How big is that 10-year-old?
Yeah, he got out on the highway, and like just to get out there is a trick in and of itself.
Maybe he's a biggin.
Let's go ahead and check this one out. Oh, we got no sound. I hate it when we have no sound. Okay, so there we go. So the kid...
Is that him?
Yeah. He's got his flashers on, first of all, so he doesn't know how to turn those off. That's a little rude.
He's going between lanes without signaling.
Yeah, he's swerving between the lanes. Young man.
Rumble
Young
strip.
man, you got to get back on there you go, that way.
You didn't say young man, right?
Young man, go! That's going to be an insurance claim. Oh, boy, that's going to scare the shit out of you.
Put her in park, kid.
What's the brand?
Don't come out the passenger door. What are you doing?
Yeah, who the fuck is in there with him?
Okay, I think it's a Chevy Trax, but it might be a Buick. I think it's the Buick version of a Chevy Trax.
Did they blur it out because they didn't want the car company to be associated with this?
I don't know, because that doesn't really matter.
No.
You know what I mean?
The 10-year-old boy who allegedly stole an SUV. Oh, it wasn't even his parents' SUV. He just wanted to joyride somebody's car.
It's a Buick Encore.
The Buick Encore driven by the child was stolen from a residence on Hess Avenue in Buena Vista, Michigan. Oh, so your kid's just a piece of shit. Okay. I thought
definitely
maybe
a white person crime, though, right? Car theft. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll lean
Buick,
that way.
Nobody steals a Buick.
State police from the Bays Region 3rd District said in a release on social media that the boy, who had apparently been staying with relatives, had hoped to go visit his mother over Memorial Day weekend.
Maybe not then. Oh, no.
You're saying the situation's not
looking good.
The boy, who had apparently been staying with relatives, had hoped to go visit his mother over Memorial Day weekend. Buena Vista is about 8 miles from Detroit.
That's another
Would
notch.
you like to change
It's another
your,
notch in this category over here.
Would you like to change your guess?
Where I use my black pen, for the tallies.
Police say that Saginaw County Central Dispatch received a call from OnStar that the stolen vehicle was heading south on I-75. OnStar, the subscription place, blah, blah, blah. Troopers located the SUV near the Birch Run exit. When they attempted to stop the driver, he did not comply. The trooper drove behind the juvenile for about a mile with lights and sirens activated while the vehicle was being disabled remotely. The silent 31-second video provided by MSP's 3rd District shows the car swerving from lane to lane with its hazard lights flashing. The video was captured on the trooper's dash cam. Fortunately, through OnStar, the vehicle came safely to a stop after grazing a guardrail along the interstate. Didn't end there, though. After the car came to a stop, the boy climbed over to the passenger side of the car and took off on foot into some nearby woods.
Okay.
So we thought this was a kid who maybe accidentally took his parents' car and it got out of hand and whatever.
Let's be honest, you don't accidentally do that.
Well, no, this is just a little bag of shit who totally knew what he was doing.
How many times did you accidentally take your parents' car?
Never. My sister did get behind the wheel once at the meat market, and she
really?
Yeah, she was like 4 or so, and she put it in gear and she backed it into a no parking sign by the church across the street.
And you didn't stop her?
Freaked the fuck out. I was like 6 or 7. I was like Louis' age.
Wait. Is she? I can't remember. She's younger than
Younger.
you?
And
so you're the older kid in the car.
Yeah, but it was like Louis' age, and I was just like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you?" And I was just like losing my shit.
Aaron pooped his pants in the back seat.
I did. I had diarrhea that day.
So
too.
now
Terrible.
the car's dented and it stinks.
Yeah. No, she didn't hit it enough to dent it or cause any damage. No, she just basically put it in reverse and it rolled until it bumped into something. The boy faces several counts, including unlawfully driving away a motor vehicle, 4th-degree fleeing and eluding police, and assaulting, resisting, or obstructing police. Yeah, that's...
a little prick.
Yeah. Little asshole. No wonder. Is his mom a shitty mom, or did his mom catch a shitty kid and she just couldn't take care of him anymore?
Maybe that's why the mom wasn't with him on Memorial Day. She's like, I have got to get away from this little shit.
Honestly, you guys have to take him.
Yeah. She's just, how about he stays with you for a night or two, and then it just never comes back.
Andrew Rice Cray says Aaron's sister squashed Chad's brother. No, I promise that's not what happened.
You weren't supposed to park on Chad's brother.
I promise you that my sister did not run over Chad Zumach's brother.
I do think that's a tragedy, by the way. I know Chad's watching at some point.
Right.
I think it's tragic your brother died. I really do. He was probably a good person.
Right. We all
Maybe that's why you're so shitty.
We all wished it was you instead.
Oh, I won't even go that far.
I know that Chad has stayed up nights going, oh my God, I wish it would have been me instead. I've sat up thinking the same thing.
Really?
No.
I don't want to be with somebody who thinks like Zuma.
I've just thought, why couldn't it be Chad? Oh. Believe me, everyone in the world, Chad, here's your story about your brother, and we feel terrible for him.
I do, yeah.
And we feel awful for him, and we wish it would have had a different ending, like you trying to push him out of the way.
I feel bad for your mom and stepdad, too, that were probably really devastated by that death.
He was splatted by an Imholt, not squashed. Well, I mean, now we're getting into a semantics game.
Squashed, that would have had to mean that either Aaron or his sister sat on him.
15 minutes away from knocking out tonight's goal, 1:15 away, and we got 15 minutes until we rattle the cans and see if we can knock that thing out. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit subscribe. I think we're about 85 subscribers away from hitting 10,000, so it's getting very, very close. Let's take a look here and see how close we're getting. We're about 85 subs away from hitting 10,000. So go ahead and subscribe.
Hit that
button. The thumbs up. Thank you for joining us in the summertime, too. I imagine that evening shows are going to take a little hit during the summertime here because it is just so goddamn nice out.
You're going to have to slut it up a little. You're going to get a little more sexy in these months.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Get a new haircut. That always drives them nuts.
Maybe I could sex it up like Christie here. Maybe I could go with a Christie look, and that might get me a little attention from everybody.
I do have a new request for a drip pan. I didn't get one tonight, and now I need one.
You know what? I forgot. I didn't tell you we were going to talk about Christie tonight. Then it would have you would have grabbed your own.
I'll have to go swimming.
The former New Jersey governor and early Trump advocate turned bitter foe has submitted his paperwork to run for president as a Republican in 2024. Now, a lot of people who are under the age of 25, they hear the name Chris Christie and they go, who? Chris Christie was the governor of New Jersey, and he was kind of the first ballsy, like DeSantis type governor who would like say shit you're not supposed to say.
Off the wall a little bit.
Yeah, but he was also kind of a big fat idiot. And then like a hurricane, what was that? Hurricane Sandy came through and he like gave Obama a big bear hug. Like, oh, thank you for coming, Barack. And like Republicans hammered him over that and Democrats did too, because it looked like such a gay hug. And we have such an immature country. Everyone acts like the last 10 years is when we got really, really bad.
Yeah.
But I think this Hurricane Sandy thing happened in like 2011, 2012. And like we were dumb enough then that we were like, oh, he gave that guy a hug during a hurricane. What a piece of shit.
I have to ask you, is there a hug you can give that's not gay?
They're all a little gay.
They're all a little weird. If you linger just a little too long, it's just off. And
if the president comes to your state after it's been devastated by a hurricane, you're allowed to be a little gay.
I mean, that's more than the current one does for, let's say, a derailed train. But
yeah. Well, they're saying it was 2012. Okay, so I had that right. So, yeah, I mean, Chris Christie running for president, I mean, cool. Great. The guy must have some money he needs to launder, I'm guessing.
I actually think there's a positive to it. He is at least 20 years younger than two other candidates.
That's about it.
20 years younger is a big deal, though.
I don't know if you remember Chris Christie. You probably didn't give a shit. You didn't know.
I didn't give a shit at the time.
He was kind of a big
2012, I was basically wrapping up high school, and I'm like, fuck
Chris
politics.
Chris Christie was a big dumb ape.
Yeah.
Back then. I never really thought that much of him. It was back in 2012, it was like him and Scott Walker, the governor of Wisconsin, were like the new young hip smoking guns in the Republican Party. We got this 49-year-old Christie guy. We got this 45-year-old Scott Walker. And they're just the new big swinging dicks in town. And then we realized that one of them was stupid and the other one had negative charisma. So we just kind of passed him by for Mitt Romney.
Kyle does have a valid point. Chris Christie is 90 in fat years.
That's true. Christie is 60 in people years. He's 90 in fat years.
That weight will age you quickly.
Yeah. And pull you forward. You know, it's got a way of
now you got back and shoulder problems.
You're going to have to wear Forrest Gump braces eventually. Who knows? But yeah, I don't really see him as a threat. They might as well just clear everybody outside of Trump and DeSantis out and just let those two have it. You know, it's like when two people are going to get a fight at a party, you're like, all right, we could either try to diffuse this fight or we could move all the furniture to the side of the room, clear out, get all the valuables out of the way, stand in a big circle and just let these two have at it.
Because Pence is obviously a non-issue. He's too boring.
And a lot of Republicans hate his guts because they feel like he turned on Trump. So
that too, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Eric Nagel says, as soon as Christie left here, marijuana got legalized.
And now look at you all hurting shit.
Yeah, look at you guys all
Fucking
getting
guys.
high everywhere in New Jersey.
Getting schizophrenia.
That's what New Jersey needed, a new bad smell. That was really good for them to legalize
Oh, no.
weed.
I can't think of any bad smells in New Jersey.
Jack Schaff says, anyone remember Bridgegate? Yeah, and Chris Christie had this scandal where they accused him of shutting down this bridge. Somebody explained to me. I remember Bridgegate, I think. He shut down a bridge
by sitting on it?
Yes, he sit on it and it broke in half. And it was like to smite some people who were doing an investigation into some shit he was doing. Like he closed a bridge for political reasons. It was a really fucked up reason. And I don't think they could ever prove that he did anything wrong. But they also, like, it was one of those things where, like, we know this is a dick move. We know you're being a piece of shit, but we can't prove It was such a petty, shitty thing he did that they were like, we can't prove, like, in a court that you did it for this reason, but we know you did it for this reason.
Oh, we only politically shut down bridges here for George Floyd. And that's never a problem.
Triple N says he did it to fuck over a neighboring mayor who didn't endorse him. Yeah, it was real petty shit like that.
Somebody said Snooki's pussy.
Oh, no.
As a scent.
That's the state flower of New Jersey, actually. Scarface says he shut down the George Washington Bridge. Yeah, somebody got stuck on the bridge and died. Like an ambulance got stuck and some person did. Yeah.
Oh, no.
He also shut down beaches and then went to the beach. Oh, I forgot about that one, too. Oh, yeah, he was just a real piece of shit, Chris Christie.
That is not okay.
But there was like a 30-day window where everybody wanted him to run for president because he would talk a lot of shit. And he would, I don't hold back. I got no filter, you piece of shit.
Chris Christie, the most forgiven killer?
Maybe Chris Christie is the most forgiven murderer of all time.
I don't know. Maybe.
Eric Nagel says Christie also got a lot of shit for being on the beach after he closed them all for COVID. He was governor during
so he
COVID?
shut down the beaches and said, you guys can't go here. You'll get each other sick. And then he went by himself. Well, Eric, I have to raise you this. Like, if nobody else is on the beach, why can't you be there? You're not spreading.
He was only governor until 2018. Did he like advocate? See, I don't know anything about New Jersey.
Did he sit in? You know what? Here, Eric says again, he and his whole family had outings on the state beach he closed. But how could he close it?
How could he close it when he was only governor until 2018?
I was going to suggest that maybe whoever ran New Jersey at the time, I don't recall.
Maybe he advocated for it?
Shut down the beaches, but then him and his family went out on the beach instead.
Yeah. Well, and they're saying, he claims it was a private beach. Oh, yeah, then it's totally fine because we know about all those private beaches we were all allowed to go to during COVID.
I love privates on the beach.
You're a military whore. Mr. Cool says, I heard he was promised Trump's VP and is kind of bitter about it. Yeah, Trump kind of fucked with him and fucked with Romney. Trump got Mitt Romney to endorse him and then like held out like a Secretary of State job or something in front of him. Then invited him to lunch after he got elected so Romney could kiss his ass and everything like that. As soon as the lunch was over, Trump released a press release that said, yeah, fuck Mitt Romney. I'm not picking him for shit. He's a rhino. He never backed me all the way during the like he just brutally fucked him over. Chris Christie was one of the guys on stage on election night. And he's like hugging Trump. He's so excited. And Trump's like, all right, now get this fat fuck out of here. I don't need him anymore.
Trump has a real problem with like overweight people.
He doesn't like fatzos.
I'm trying to think of the woman It's not Roseanne. It's the other one.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah. Boy, she really got the short end of the stick.
Okay, Mr. Nagel is saying that it was during a government shutdown.
Okay, that makes sense.
That Chris Christie, he had the beaches were shut down
it.
and he and his family went to the beach. That's right. He was a fucking asshole. That guy. Chris Christie was about a piece of shit.
Such an insensitive joke to make, but I'm nervous about it.
Go ahead. It's a fat joke. It's totally fine.
Well, whales belong on the beach.
Yeah, you can't. Everyone else had to be at home. Why couldn't he be at home? Chris Christie announces he's slowly walking for president. Of course. Oh, man. 1:15 away from knocking it out tonight. We got 5 minutes until we fire up the music and we do our Carnival Barker e-beggar shtick to see if we can knock that out tonight And then we're 2/3 of the way through hitting all our goals for the evening shows.
Look at that.
This week. Let's see if we can all pitch in just a little bit at a time and hit this thing together. 115 away. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, memberships, the whole deal. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I don't know who this person is. I just know they were in a disastrous car wreck, and I just wanted to show you guys the pictures. General Hospital star Haley Poulos, who looks like every soap opera star, like super mid. You'd fuck her if she were your neighbor.
Absolutely.
But not like hot actress hot.
Oh, if you're at a bar and you're drunk, I bet that's a total 10.
Yeah, you fuck Haley Poulos if you're at a bar. But if you're like in Hollywood, you're like, I'll pass until like a real television actress comes along, perhaps.
Do you ever just kind of want to be a soap opera star because it looks so fucking easy?
Right, and you're not like super famous to the point where
it's not a problem for you.
Yeah, it's not like you can go places and you can kind of fly under the radar, but you're making solid money. Like if you look up how much she makes.
You can put in minimal effort.
How much does Haley Poulos make? 1 million. She have a whopping net worth of 1 million. That's not what I'm looking for. She's worth $1 million. I want to know how much she makes per episode. Per episode. Boy, they really keep that under lock and key.
Yeah, I don't know if you're necessarily supposed to put that out there because somebody else might not be making what you make, and then there's problems.
$227,000 a year to do a soap opera. I guess that's not bad money to do.
That's not bad at all.
Shit that they do.
Get to make out with other hot people and
I guess
have sex.
To have a bunch of sex. You don't get to really have sex.
You don't know.
K-Fish with, April. This is like telling April that wrestling's not real.
Stop it.
K-Fish with 199 says, I'm leaving. Can't fall in love with a married woman. I'm sorry, buddy. I mean, you didn't have to fall in love. You just had to be entertained by the show, for Christ's sake.
You can love me platonically. Does that count?
I mean, I thought you wanted to be respected as an entertainer, but I guess...
Precisely, much like Alex Stein said, I respect her as an entertainer and a broadcaster.
So now, this Haley Poulos got in a car accident recently. It was her fault, and the guy she was with went to the hospital, or the guy she hit went to the hospital. She got arrested for DUI. Take a look at the fucking damage on this wreck. Yeah.
Tits.
The front end of both of those cars are gonzo. Holy shit.
Did a person die? Like, that looks pretty bad.
Yeah, this was April 29th of this year.
Oh, girl, that's not good.
Yeah, she's...
Everyone's scared to get in a vehicle around her now.
Oh, got all of the fluids in the vehicle just leaking out all at once.
Yes, that's the...
She's now facing a lawsuit for her recent DUI arrest. According to the new lawsuit, a man named Courtney Wilder claims Haley plowed into his car last month while driving under the influence of alcohol and marijuana. Ha ha, girl's name.
Yeah, Courtney.
You bitch. You should be suing your parents.
That's a new one. I've never heard of a man named Courtney. I've heard of Kelly.
Wilder says the car he was driving behind barely swerved to avoid Haley's car as she drove the wrong way on a freeway off-ramp. Oh, fuck.
That's completely fucked.
He claims he didn't have time to react when he saw headlights coming his way and crashed head-on into Haley. He says he ended up getting transported to a hospital in critical condition. In the words of Jim Carrey in the movie Liar, Liar, saddle, 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 saddle. Settle as quickly as you can, Haley. You see that leg over there? That leg over there is not for you to stand on.
Can you imagine if you're drunk?
Yes, I can.
And you did that? How do you react? Does it like hit you that you just might have killed somebody? Do you see that happen and you're like, oh my God, does it sober you up? Or
I don't
do you
know.
just sit there like in disbelief? What is it?
I've never been in that situation, so I can't say for sure. But no, if you're that fucked up where you're driving the wrong way on a ramp, I don't think there's anything that's sobering you up. I think you're just kind of, you're like that guy on the boat. You're just like, oh, yeah. But ma'am, you were
There's
just...
a beer can spilling out into the road. Oh, no, ma'am.
I don't have any booze in my car. Ma'am, that's a wine bottle rolling around. Yeah. And that's pretty much all the defense you can muster at that point. I got a bunch of news coming up I've got a DeMar Hamlin story as well, and a college baseball fan dropping his toddler on its head trying to catch a foul ball. So I got a couple good ones for you for overtime that you'll really enjoy. But right now, it is time for us to fire up the music and see if we can knock out this little 115 we got left. Thank you, Flex, for gifting a membership to Sean. Very nice of you, sir. Those gifted memberships are very, very kind. All right, let's do it. Let's fire up the music. Let's dance like the little e-begging monkeys we are, and let's see if we can hammer out this 115 in the next 5 minutes so we can add another 30 minutes onto the clock and do some more show for you tonight. Whistle. Off we go. 115 away. Let's see if we can knock the rest of it out. 115 to go. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, memberships. 5 minutes on the clock. We've got the Mark Wahlberg story of how he wants to relocate Hollywood to Las Vegas. And it makes sense. It makes sense.
No. We can keep Hollywood out of Las Vegas. That's fine.
I mean, they both
Las Vegas has enough problems. We don't need anything added.
They're both crawling with stinky homeless people.
We don't need more. Thank you very much.
We've also got that teenager who ate his town's prized swan and stole its babies and totally doesn't give a fuck. This little psychopath.
Oh my God, he's smiling.
Yeah, just eating swan, kidnapping babies, just being a little cunt in general.
How do you eat a swan? Those things are beautiful.
They're like geese though.
They look tough. Well, you'd think they're tough.
Scarface with $4.99 says, "Pay up, whores." Well, we're 110 away from hitting tonight. We'll see if we can get there. If you feel like chipping in, there's all your links. Venmo, PayPal, Streamlabs, and Super Chats. They're saying do it for April's hair.
Ooh, my wet hair.
April's wet puppy hair.
It's drying. It's still wet inside.
Dry as a bone over on PayPal tonight. And 110 away from knocking this thing out. Let's see if we can get there. 3.5 minutes to go. We're 3.5 minutes away from knocking this out. Cream of Green says, I thought you stopped doing the music. No, we always do the music if we're not there. You probably missed it a lot because we haven't had to do it very much lately. So I know that upsets you, but it's true. I mean, if we don't have to do the music, we don't do the music. Sometimes we try to have a little fun in our desperate e-begging instead of just making people feel like shit like a lot of people do. So I know you're very concerned, pal. I just wanted to make sure you knew.
I don't want to go to bed yet.
All right, 110. Kyle says we did all these stories. Here we go. Let's see if we can get there. 110 away. Who wants to be the one to start the rally and chip in? Otherwise, looks like we could sit here with our dicks in our hands for another 2.5 minutes. Scarface says, I'm going to be so hungover tomorrow. Oh, man. Well, you can...
Well, sorry, buddy. You
can always put the drink down and, drink some water and take some drugs and try to head it off at the pass, unless you're just resigned to the fact that it's over.
He's committed now.
Here we go. Morning, evening goal typo. Oh, no, I got a morning, evening goal typo. Whoops.
Well, which one is it?
My bad. It's Tuesday evening. First name says, speaking of face, what's the story with the mark on the side of your face? I was stabbed with a hot poker. It was a vicious self-defense accident.
It was me, and it was a cattle prod.
I just had a zit that I picked at too much, like I'm 17 years old.
It is interesting. You were infatuated.
I was. I really wanted to get that son of a bitch. Hobo Chili Recipe with $4.99 says, ugly Under Armour shirt hype train. I would like to put you on a train to Dachau for your fashion sense. Oh. 105 away. Let's see if we can do it. Looks like we won't. We've got a minute and a half left on the clock. And with that minute and a half, we are 105 away. It's,
I'd like to make it.
We've been on a hell of a run lately, that's for sure, though. A hell of a run. Fauci's Pangolin gifting a membership. Barry Watson's getting one. Oh, he's going to give that back. Barry Watson hates us.
Thank you.
He's like Cream of Green. He just hates our guts, which is fine. I mean, as long as you're not being a cunt in the chat, like, you can come here to hate us. That's fine. But once you get cunty and annoying, we'll just set you off to the side and time out.
I think it's easier to love us instead.
I think so. I think you do love it. If you come here to hate us, you do love us. You are a fan.
Love and hate are pretty close, right?
100 even. We are 100 away, and we've got 49 seconds left. So here we go. Even 100. There's all the links. Will we get there? Ooh, we might miss tonight. We almost missed this morning.
You guys.
And it might be getting tight out there. And we may have to prepare ourselves for missing.
Maybe.
A little bit at a time. You know, if we get way ahead, we can have guest hosts and stuff like that. But, if we're missing, you gotta make sure you're taking care of business. Jack Schaff says, not looking good. No, it's not looking good. You gotta miss every once in a while.
Well.
And tonight might be the night.
I feel like we gave you a really good show.
No, fuck. Probably not. All right, guys, 10 seconds left. Looks like we're going to fail tonight. We are going to come up short, and we'll try harder tomorrow. We'll do our best to knock out that goal. So, doesn't happen very often.
No.
But it happened tonight. 100 short. Sorry, guys.
Put the blame on me.
We're going to blame April for the whole goddamn thing.
Stupid bitch.
All right, one last refresh. There it is. Gone. And we are done for the evening. Well, guys, we had a good time. Sorry if we didn't do a great show for you. We'll try harder tomorrow, and we'll knock it out. April, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Back again tomorrow at 6 a.m. Central Time. Hit like, hit subscribe. We'll see you then.